Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast. We are three brothers who get together and we talk about gaming. We may also talk about tech, movies, TV, other nerdy, geeky things too. I am Take It Easy Jono. With me today, we have a couple of guests, but we'll introduce the other trolls.
Nasty Nate.
And Dandolph the Wise.
Dandolph the Wise, somewhere beyond the veil. He is without internet or something.
I'm in the data field.
No video because his internet just can't take it today. But we have two guests. We have Phil and Nave from Gaming Together Podcast, a cooperative podcast. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Philip.
Yeah, hi, I'm Philip from Gaming Together Cooperative Podcast. And I just like video games. I don't really usually keep up on new stuff. But we watched a lot of trailers today, an insane amount of trailers, like 3 hours of trailers. So I'm ready to talk about them.
Nice. Absolutely.
And on Gaming Together, we've been on the show before, right? I think.
No, I think this is the first time you guys have been on our show.
We were on your show a couple times, yes. But this is the first. But as you said, today we'll be discussing the Xbox Direct. Is that what it was called? Xbox Direct 2023 Showcase, whatever it was called. It was today, and we watched it, and we'll go over some of the things that caught our eye and discuss.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We can get into game time. We can just start it off. Unless you got any stories, Nathaniel, you usually have a story.
Actually, no. I've just been playing Diablo like a fiend.
Are you guys both playing Diablo 4? You guys are both playing Diablo 4, yes? I believe I saw you both.
We're barely playing it.
Are you going to do an episode on that? The cooperative Diablo 4 episode?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we plan on doing it. It's just finding enough game time. I feel like even though summer's here, kids are out of school, there's less time for gaming.
Yeah, weird. Because you want to be outside too.
Because every fucking game released on top of each other, probably.
Oh, that too. Yeah, there's too many games.
Yeah, well, that's been a problem for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I feel.
Big time.
What a horrible world we live in. What a terrible problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, I just finished Zelda last week, so I'm good now for Diablo until what's next?
Starfield?
In September? Is that in the next game? That's a long gap. There's nothing in between?
Oh, for
you don't want to play Sea of Thieves, Guy Brushwood, Thornwood?
Sea of Thieves, Daniel.
It wasn't on the showcase, but for me, there's freaking Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Life. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But beyond that, I don't think so. When is Spider-Man coming, by the way? I don't remember.
October
20th,
20th, I think.
All right. Yeah, so then, no.
Wild. They bowed away from fucking Starfield. Yeah. They're like, we're not.
Well, imagine having to compete with this kind of display, demonstration.
I don't know which one I would play. I would have to play if they both came out at the same time. I mean, I have no idea. That would be a hard decision for me. Okay, yeah. But
I feel like you could.
And now you got to choose between Spider-Man and Forza Motorsport. How are you ever going to fucking figure out? They brought a car up on the stage again.
I barely played the last Forza. I was like, okay, I guess I'm.
But this is like the racing sim one. It's not the other one, right?
This is a serious one.
Yeah, this is the serious one.
Oh, the serious
But they have
one.
you can upgrade your car and stuff, like Need for Speed Underground 2 on the fucking GameCube.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. I liked that one. Underground 2 I played a lot on PC actually. I remember
that's the one with the fucking ski motherfucker.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just played the shit. Just like so sick of that song after that. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I would hear it every time. It's a fucking party every time it came back on. Riders on the Storm, and I'm like, oh shit.
Stupid.
All right, well, why don't we get into that? Well, why don't we just get right into it? We're going to go.
It's lots.
We got lots to talk about. We'll get into it here. We'll do a transition right now. And we're back. So, we're going to talk about the Xbox Showcase, Xbox Starfield Direct, whatever the hell just happened today. It's fresh off of our minds. We'll talk about some games that stood out to us and any other general thoughts. But it started off pretty strong, though. They started off pretty strong with the Fable. That's a big one. That's a big like a big thing to start off with, and it looked pretty cool. The guy from friggin' what's that?
IT crowd. Yeah,
IT crowd.
He's also in that movie with Ben Stiller.
The
Neighborhood
Watch.
Watch.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah, that movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna try this out. It looked the scale looked cool.
I like the idea of it. Do you guys think it's like just a totally new game, or sort of they're just? Well, I guess that's what a reboot is, right? They're just starting it from.
Is it a reboot?
I don't know, because the font is the exact same. They're calling it just Fable.
Okay. It's just called Fable. I guess that's true. It's not like Fable 4 or whatever the hell that is.
It's not Lionhead Studios.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's a tricky one because Lionhead Studios and Peter Molyneux, the guy who made Black and White, if you guys remember that old PC game, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
That was a huge part of the spirit of those games. So it's like, I wonder.
He had his quirk.
How they're I wonder how they're going to make that work, but we'll find out.
Because the humor was very dry and British.
Oh yeah,
so I kind of enjoyed that. Like they kicked the chicken, and then that guy just kind of stared at him for a second, and like, "Are you proud of yourself?" or whatever. And I was like,
he's like, "Good job, I guess."
Because these guys, this is from the studio who made Forza, so it's the playground. It's the Playground Games.
It's the Forza Horizon people, which is a total like the Forza. The Forza was created by Turn 10, I think. I think they were called something else. I don't know. I'm just fucking talking shit now.
Yeah. And it's Playground does one of the Forza games.
Yeah, they did. They did the Forza Horizon, like the one in Mexico, and all the other ones.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know. It looked funny. It looked good. I was like, just the way it felt. I knew it was Fable right off the bat.
Yeah,
just because they got that kind of aesthetic down pretty well. Like when he grabbed the sword, I was like, oh yes, here we go.
I like the look of the scale was cool. It reminded me of that God of War part in the new God of War where you had to go to the girl's grandmother's house or whatever, and she was like a giant, and you're running around in like her house. So it reminded me of that.
The one thing that I noted whenever I was watching that was I don't think that there was any gameplay. I think during that giant chasing sequence, it seemed like that was like it wasn't gameplay, but it might have been like scripted sequences that happened during gameplay.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
But you never really see gameplay.
No.
And I was kind of, especially after the PlayStation Showcase, which burned the shit out of me about the gameplay. I've been kind of really tuned in on that. Like I've been watching. I'm like, okay, but what's no game, no hype? But I mean. Yeah.
But they've told us that we're going to see in-game footage, not cinematic footage.
So
this is in-game graphics. It's just not gameplay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I could see that.
Just trying to confuse us stupid gamers.
There's a couple of fucking confusing marketing double speak happening in this showcase, but we'll get into that when it comes
at least we
up.
saw something because we were waiting for something Fable for a while now. Ever since they just showed that like title before, and then that was it.
Well, didn't they make a Fable after Fable 3 and it was like co-op based or something? Or did that actually come out?
It was like a spin-off game. I think it was a Kinect game.
Okay.
Yeah, the one where you hold hands.
Oh, there's two. There was the Kinect
game,
and then the card game that got canceled, right?
Yep. It flopped.
The other one was like it was a sub-series where you had like little dolls. It was like an indie game, like an Xbox Live Arcade game.
Oh, weird.
And Fable Heroes, I think, or something like that. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
I think it is.
All right. Well, what was next there? Was that Avowed next?
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight. Well, we don't have to go through every single one, but yeah. So South of Midnight looked cool to you?
It looked amazing. The fucking aesthetic is incredible, and it's the diverse. This is something I'm going to hammer on throughout this whole show. But like, I was really worried because with Fable and Bethesda, with Starfield, and I knew Elder Scrolls was going to pop up, and Avowed, and all of this. It's like there's a lot of homogenous blending of like a very similar art style, and this really came and bit me in one trailer. That we'll talk about later. But the distinct aesthetic differences between just these first two games is incredible, especially how the main character is like using the top and like making spirit magic with her hands, like it's Ghostwire Tokyo. I was very impressed with it.
Yeah, it looked so sweet.
Did you notice the frame skip that they use? It was like stop animation. It's almost like stop motion. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like the Puss in Boots movie that I won't stop bringing up every fucking thing.
Is that like that? It reminds me of the.
They do that. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, they go
sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
lower frames.
Okay,
It's
like
so
the
cool.
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
The first
Yeah.
one is
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I like when they zooming in on the guitar, him playing the guitar. The music was
Yeah.
sweet. Is it like a Baron Samedi kind of thing going on there?
It was like a
It was-
Ron
what was
Johnson
very
thing. It was
weird-
Delta Blues, man. As far as I know.
Oh, I love the blues. That Louisiana Bayou.
Yeah.
That kind of
Mhm.
like
It was-
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Definitely sick.
Yeah.
One thing that was weird that I almost just, I don't know, just a little part of my brain went like, why did they put these two next to each other? Was they did the size differentiation, visual gag again, right? The guy being a giant in Fable, and then
Oh,
this
yeah.
one where the girl walked up and he was also a giant. I was
Right.
like,
Okay, so she
I don't know
was
why,
smaller.
but that makes me mad. That makes me want to fucking. Why did they separate those? Because that would have been a funny gag.
Maybe they're trying to show us or tell us that Xbox is the small guy and the gaming world is the big guy, and the way
yeah.
that
PlayStation is
The
the big
under
guy.
siege.
place, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo is the
smart.
dock.
Yeah,
And
Nintendo.
the Switch goes in the dock.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the Steam
Oh,
is the lake.
All right, we're reading.
I see.
We're reading too far into this. I think.
I'm on Nate's side.
Yeah, I got
Or
it all
whoever
down
just
here.
said that.
All right. So before we get away from that, what genre do you think South of Midnight is?
I have no idea what the hell it was.
I think it's
No
going to be a
game, no hype.
Ghostwire Tokyo kind of thing. It's going to be like an RPG first person
Good
thing.
question.
RPG. Yeah, I guess there was no.
I'm hoping for
gameplay.
rhythm shooter, just with the blues, like a
Oh,
what
Yeah,
was
dude.
that? Hell,
Imagine.
Hell.
Me and Philip,
Beats.
Hellblade. Or no, I mean Hell.
The other one.
Metal Hellsinger.
Metal
That's
Hellsinger. Yeah. I think they would have showed it if it was a rhythm game. They would have showed you.
Yeah.
They
that's
did.
what it
He's
was.
playing a guitar the whole goddamn fucking.
Well, what is
Those
the
people that
top
actually
thing
know
that
how
she
to
had
play
in her?
guitar. How accurate was that guitar playing, or were they just making stuff up?
Oh,
It was
I didn't
pretty
notice.
accurate. I wasn't like going. I don't know how. I wouldn't be able to do the note by notes, and obviously, different guitars are tuned to different things. And blues, they usually tune their guitars weird. But it's like it was very accurate, like to what it looks like to play a guitar. Like
Yeah.
they
I
definitely
wasn't
like
even
motion
looking at,
captured
like
that.
his fretboard or anything. I don't know why. I just
Yeah,
was not
me
even
either.
paying attention.
I really liked the texture of the guitar.
Yeah, that did
and
look cool.
even through the stream, like we didn't watch the 4K footage afterwards. We just watched it straight live stream. But like, he was using his fingernails like to finger pick the guitar.
It looked pretty
It's
crisp.
like
It looked crisp.
It looked like
But
shit
no
on my
game,
television
so-
because my internet
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, it
No
looked
doubt.
like Minecraft Legends to him.
Yeah, I'm surprised you were.
That was pretty.
I'm surprised you were even
Just-
able to watch it.
Yeah,
I
go
know,
to
I
that
had
pool in the
zero
backyard,
issues.
Daniel, and just jump in
Throw your
And-
computer in that
With your electronics,
with your
jump in.
electronics and jump in.
Yeah, and don't come back up. No, but it was cool. I wonder they might go for like a third person over the shoulder type thing, like some sort of like mystery, kind of
Okay.
like. It almost looked like it could have been had elements of horror, maybe like dark kind of fantasy horror. I don't know,
What if it's a Monster Hunter clone,
or that, yeah,
like
maybe.
Wild Hearts?
maybe.
Because she was there.
I hope not.
You know, maybe it's
Oh.
just like what was that Bayou battle royale we played?
Hunt Showdown.
Showdown. Like they're like, here, where's the creature?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that
It's
is.
good.
Yeah, I know.
Listen to our episode,
Yeah, I know.
Gaming
I
Together,
listened-
episode
I listened to it.
105.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was good. It was good.
Well, I didn't have
I
listened yet.
I kind of wanted to jump into that game too. I heard it was pretty good.
I'm all about battle royale.
You guys,
so maybe,
seem to like it, but not like it. But overall, pretty much liked it.
Yes.
Are we talking about Hunt Showdown, or are we talking about whatever?
Hunt Showdown.
It's pretty good. It's very interesting because it's a lot less battle royale. It's PvE VP, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like it's more
Sneak around a lot.
PvE than PvP, but you are trying to like gank each other and stuff. It's more like Tarkov
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
than
Like an
battle
extraction thing.
royale. Extractions, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot
cool.
more like that.
Okay. Cool. All right. What's next? Who's got what next?
Star Wars
Wow.
Outlaws.
Oh yeah,
Star
big
Wars
time.
Outlaws. Yeah.
This looked sweet.
I got some like
I mean,
see that
Andor
Whooper?
vibes from
The
it.
Whooper.
You see when the friggin' starship comes in? What's it called? The Starfighter, or not Starfighter? The
Star
big
Destroyer.
Star Destroyer comes in and freaking cuts the other one in half and explodes and shit. That was sick.
Yeah,
I always wondered, like
very cool.
when they come in from warp, anything could be there.
No, they have
And they just
scanners
smash
for
it.
that. No.
Yeah.
The scanner didn't pick up that friggin' ship coming in.
They're scanning.
Or what was it? The Last Jedi or the one before the Last Jedi? The Jedi before last.
I don't know. I blocked all those out of my memory.
Through. Oh man, it was so good. They blew through all those ships.
Yeah,
why don't they just do that to everything? Can't you just can you do that into a planet?
It's probably expensive. You know how much a hyperdrive costs?
Yeah, man.
They don't accept credits.
Man, one hyperdrive and you just blew up Pluto and killed all the Plutonians. Like,
well, doesn't
that's a fucking WMD?
Yo, doesn't Han Solo describe that in the movies when plotting a hyperdrive course? He says it's like, you don't want to get this wrong, kid, because you don't want to drive through or you don't want to go through an asteroid field or
a Wendy's
or
a space
warp straight
Wendy's
through a star. It's like, because he mentions that you could warp straight through a star.
So they know where they're going, but they
well,
have
that's the thing. They talked about this in the Starfield thing, but it's like I always imagine warp being like the folding of space and going through a wormhole.
True. So like, you wouldn't even
there's
go through.
Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing there to go through.
True.
You just appear in the place that you're trying to go.
True. Interesting. Wow.
Or we could think it more about like in Halo when they use slip space with the probes and everything.
Yeah, or Mass Effect where you're in the Mass Effect relays appearing on the other side, so you only have specific.
All right, imagine this piece of paper is space and this pencil is the spaceship.
Yes.
Put your pencil through that hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Slowly.
That's how it's usually explained.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm always interested in new Star Wars games. Like pretty much no matter what it is. But I not say I play all of them, but I am interested since probably since we played. What was the MMO? What was that MMO?
SWTOR Online.
Yes.
Or the old one.
The old one, yeah. That one was fucking sweet.
Star Wars:
Played
The
the
Old
shit out of
Republic,
that.
right? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so ever
the
since
MMO
then
we
I've
played.
been like, oh, new Star Wars game? Okay, I'm down. Like, but I'm also just want like another Star Wars story. I'm just a sucker for another Star Wars story.
I'm a notorious Disney and Marvel and Star Wars hater, so
I mean, you know what, Nave? I'm getting there. I'm getting there for sure.
I feel bad. I feel bad for you guys who are still trying to hold on. Meanwhile, I'm over here eating good with the Yakuza games that are definitely different. They're definitely different. Every one of them.
Oh
but this is the thing. All of my Star Wars stuff, I really love the video games. So every time I see a video game, I'm like, oh, I'm listening. And I was getting like a Star Wars bounty hunter, like on the fucking Nintendo GameCube again. But it's like I was getting kind of vibes like that, and I really genuinely enjoy that kind of thing. Again, we didn't really get any gameplay from this either, so I'm back at no game, no hype mode.
True,
but
right.
Of course, it's a 2024 game, so I'm assuming we're going to see more. But I don't know, again, what this game even is going to be. I can assume it's probably going to be like a third-person action game.
Yeah, it looks like Uncharted.
A lot more Uncharted, a lot less the new Star Wars game that just came out.
Fallen Order kind of thing.
I'm sure they want to separate those.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would enjoy a more third-person action version of a Star Wars universe game rather than a Souls-like one. Because
You think it'd be open world?
on the open world thing, I hope it's more like hub-based. I always prefer hub-based than open world.
Okay.
And, I'm going to hypocriticize myself because at the end of the show, we're in Starfield, and I'm going to gush about how, it's going to be so open world. I'm so excited.
But it might
I
not
think
be.
it depends on the game, man.
It looks pretty
always
hubby.
depends on the game.
It could be hubby. Like Destiny's kind of like that, like hubby. It's obviously not full open world, and it works fine.
I don't know. This game, like if it's not a third person, like adventure game or action adventure, I'm thinking maybe Crash Bandicoot style, because every scene we saw, she was always like running away from something. Yeah. So it could just be like a boulder situation.
Like a giant
like
boulder.
he's always running. Yeah.
Oh, no!
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
That guy died.
Temple Run.
Temple Runner. That's why it's a Lucasfilm collab too. Yeah, they're going for like the Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah, Temple Runner Star Wars edition.
Wow, that would be stupid.
Next, what do we got next? I think
33 Immortals.
Oh, you guys got to play this.
Yeah, dude.
This looks like a co-op game with
It looks-
33 co-op
33
slots.
other people.
This
I am
is the
such a
game for
huge
you.
fan.
All the podcast guys.
What
33
was it,
of
though?
us.
What I
in
didn't
this.
look like. I couldn't.
It looked
really
like a
tell
It looked like an
what was
RPG
happening.
action game.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a ARPG.
I was thinking it looked a lot like Bastion, or those kinds of games.
Yeah, I was
or
thinking
Hades. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
I don't know. Did you guys play that wizard game, that roguelike wizard game?
Oh,
Wizards 101.
No, it's not Wizards 101. It's Realm of the Mad God, where you can have like 1,000 players all on like one level.
What the fuck's it?
1,000
Wizard
players.
of Legend. You
Or
ever played that
Wizard
one?
of, I don't know what that one is.
That was
Wizard
good.
of Legend. The hell is that?
That was good. Me and Alma played it.
What
You
a
guys should
title.
play that for co-op.
What a memorable title.
Wizard of Legend.
It's pretty sick. But yeah, I'm interested in that too. Payday 3, not interested.
Yeah.
Not
Fuck
interested.
that. It's so incredibly interested. The moment I saw like 4 seconds of this trailer, and I was like, no fucking shot, this is Payday 3. I don't know what this is, was going to disappoint me. And then I saw the fucking mask
Yeah,
of
the
what's his
mask.
name, Philip.
Yeah.
He pulled that mask up, and I was like, oh,
That's
oh my God.
Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas's mask. Yeah, bro. I was like, I can't believe it.
well, I was like, what is this? Bank robber simulator? But then technically that's correct.
Yeah, I never played any of them.
Neither of
One of you guys
Uh,
mentioned Left 4 Dead 3 or earlier, like, oh, no Left 4 Dead 3 or whatever we were talking about before we started recording. Here it is. This is Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah. The graphics. You guys notice the graphic style? Did they do that like deliberately? It looks kind of like almost cartoony, and because I was watching and I was
Yeah.
like, these graphics look kind of dated, like late
Well,
2000s.
They're probably
Here's the
making it
thing.
for Xbox One.
Because the Payday is all about, like, robbing people, taking people hostage. You can do some morbid shit. So if it's like the
nice.
more realistic the game gets, the more kind of like weird. Because you
right.
can like
Good point.
you can zip tie hostages and then torture them and kill them. Like you can't torch them, but you can like just shoot them a lot and do whatever you fucking want to them. After the
Set
zip
them
tie.
on fire. Fucking torch
Remember,
them.
no Russian.
Yeah, you can
go
go
in.
full,
No Russian,
full
that's
Modern
right.
Warfare 2 on them.
All right, what do you got next?
Persona, I didn't get the number for this one.
3. It was 3
Yeah,
remastered.
Nave, you were all about this, no?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I knew I've been hearing the rumors on the grapevine that this was going to be remade, so I just opted to not play Persona 3 in hopes that it eventually gets announced. This is the thing though. The fact that so spoiler alert, Atlas shows up 3 times
Yeah.
in the
Holy
Xbox
shit.
Showcase.
Isn't that crazy?
Atlas. My mind was just fucking exploded. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, this was leaked, so I knew this was coming. So I was like, so what happened was Atlas accidentally on their own Instagram account uploaded 2 of the 3 trailers that we saw to their fucking Instagram account and deleted it moments later. But of course, the internet fucking
With them.
fucking A. But it's really nice to see like the modernization of this third game because it's very dated. And so I'm hoping, as far as people who are familiar with Persona, they know the story I'm going to say. But Persona 3, there are 3 different versions. The original, then there was the European version, which had like extra content post game, and I think it had cutscenes. And then there is a portable version with no cutscenes, but you have a extra playable character, a female character, the only female character in. It's the only female protagonist in a Persona game. Also, the only game where you can romance a 15-year-old boy.
Nice.
So, pretty cool. Thanks, Japan.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, Japan. Was this
So,
on
Persona.
PSP or something? What was it on? The original?
PSP, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. I remember when that came out. I was like, I remember everyone was just going crazy over it. When it came out on PSP.
Really hoping, because you couldn't really tell from the trailer or anything. Also, I was fanboying the whole time, so I wasn't really watching. But I'm hoping that you can marry those 3 versions, because there's no like definitive way to play this game. Whatever copy you're playing, you are missing out on something. So hopefully this is something. And also, Persona 3 is probably the shortest of the Persona games. So unless they add a bunch of extra content with this, which is possible, this game is the Persona games naturally progressively get more and more big. So like Persona 3 is probably like 30 to 40 hours. Persona 4 is like 60 to 70 hours, and Persona 5 is like 130 hours. So it's like it gets Wile E. Coyote type shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a bit daunting. I don't think. I think my wife played 5. She loved it. She played it a lot, but I was like, I'm not playing that. It's too long, too big, too much. But maybe
Too
3.
much game.
Maybe
Too much game.
it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
I got the old Xbox One X. Okay, so I don't. If it's not like a new, one of those graphically intensive things, it's kind of like cell shaded, cartoony. It'll run fine on my old hardware. So
about
it could
27
be something I
FPS.
could try.
26.
Yeah. Well, no, it might go 60. That thing can do 60 on some games. Shitty old
I
games.
know, I'm just joking.
What's the next game?
Avowed. By
Avowed.
Obsidian.
Oh man.
I wasn't
Who's
sure
Obsidian?
what I
Okay.
was looking at. when I was
They're
watching.
Yeah,
The,
I was like, what is this? It looks
the other
like
guys.
it didn't look that good, honestly. It looked
You didn't
like
like Mushroom Bear?
it looked like a cheap kind of
Mushroom
shitty
Bear.
Elder Scrolls.
I think it's probably just because I have so much faith in Obsidian, but I think the game looked really well. Now, this is the game I was saying with the homogenization of all of these, the same Western kind of RPG genre.
I mean, I saw something like, oh my God, Oblivion 2, finally.
Well, this is the thing. Right when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is Assassin's Creed. I don't give a fuck. And then moments later, I was like, oh, this is obviously Avowed. I think they almost did the beginning of that trailer like on purpose, like fourth wall breaky, because they knew that seasoned gamers would see that trailer and be like, oh, whatever, I don't care about this. And then immediately it starts going to these like bombastic, like really cool, like colorful, different environments and different creative enemy designs and stuff like that. And I'm really excited to play around with the magic. It's very reminiscent of Skyrim, which is, just like how their game before the Outer Worlds is very reminiscent of Fallout. So it's a really cool marriage of different systems and stuff like that. I'm really excited to see it. Since they can't make New Vegas 2, I'm glad they're making something like in this really deep and crunchy RPG territory.
So Obsidian did Outer Worlds? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Wilds. One of those. I can't
Outer
remember.
Worlds, yeah.
Worlds. Wilds is the sun explodes one.
Right, okay.
I don't know. I was worried about the art style, so I'm still a little worried about it because it still kind of looks a little generic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going for that generic fantasy, Western fantasy kind of thing, but it's also like the enemy design was something creative enough, and the really cool and flashy spell effects looked like, and we only saw a few, so I'm really hoping that we get to see more in the future. And like, I was hoping for a release date, but I knew in my soul that it was just because it's 2024.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay, damn.
Now, did you guys notice, like, when we first saw the Avowed trailer, it was like more darker and more kind of like realistic-y looking.
Yeah, it didn't
Not
look at
realistic,
all
brown.
like it didn't look at all like the last one.
Exactly. They kind of changed that direction. And then when we got here, it kind of looked more like an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about this, so I don't know.
Maybe they're just tossing this to us because it'll feed our Elder Scrolls 6 for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. But I'm still excited. Looks good.
When we got to, because they also showed I don't remember the name of the expansion or whatever it was, necrophilia zone, something in.
I agree.
Something.
The only word I heard him say was necrophilia.
Yeah. Well, when they got there for the ESO online, the Elder Scrolls Online thing, it's like I started feeling, I was like, man, it's going to be harder and harder for them to get people's interest in this whenever nobody really cares about anything Elder Scrolls unless it's fucking Elder Scrolls 6. Like, we're all sitting here just waiting for that day, and we keep seeing Elder Scrolls Online stuff, and we're like, fast forward. I don't know.
Yeah. Scoop.
Yeah, it didn't look.
exactly.
It looked kind of dated.
Scoop.
It looked like an old game to me. I don't know. It looked like an older game.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics were dated.
But
That's not how
you know what?
That's not how you hook me. Okay, unless it's a stylized piece, like cartoony, cel shaded kind of thing. It didn't look like that. It was like it looked like old Skyrim, or it was just more colorful.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking
All right,
game.
well, you keep playing your Mario Kart 8 Double Dash over there and let the men play their manly.
I don't play
What were we
that
talking
shit.
about? Avowed.
Avowed, yeah. What game was this again? All right, what did you have next?
What a title, too.
Sea of Thieves. Does anybody care about Sea of Thieves?
No
yes.
one cares about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people care
Next.
about Monkey Island.
Yeah, the
right,
Monkey
boys.
Island, I was talking
Oh, yeah,
whenever
this
I
is
was
like an
watching this.
amalgamation.
Yeah, this has become like the Fortnite of anything tangentially pirate or sea related.
Yeah.
Like Sea of Thieves has definitely been this. It's become this amalgamation of all of those things. And while I was watching it, of course, I was like, "Oh, this is speaking to somebody." But I just haven't put that much time into Sea of Thieves. Of course, every time we get one of these big updates, it's another opportunity for me and Philip to go, "Oh, maybe we should go check it back out."
You guys haven't? Oh, you've done.
But you did an episode on it.
Sea
You
of
did the
Thieves.
Disney Pirates.
Yes.
Pirates of the
Expansion
Caribbean.
Okay.
You did the Tall
You
Tales
haven't done
thing?
Sea of
Okay.
Thieves yet. Wow. Wow.
Listen, I mean, I'm a pirate legend. I was watching the Monkey Island feature, and I was like, okay, sure, we'll see what it is. But I don't really have anything to say about it. I love the game. I've got almost 500 hours into Sea of Thieves, so I'm looking forward to whatever else they give me. I really don't care. They were doing some things recently, like some sort of online puzzles where you had to solve some riddles and find clues all over their social media and shit, and you type in these codes on their website, and so they're trying to like mix things up, and I'm not crazy about that kind of stuff. And you could get in-game rewards for unlocking them, and then there was a final golden prize that if somebody figured out the final really challenging puzzle. I still don't know if they have. Last I heard, nobody's figured it out yet. Like, that's how obscure these clues are. So they're trying to mix things up, and any content they put out, I like. So I'm sure we'll have fun trying it out. I just did a Tall Tale with Jason and Matt the other night, and we had fun. I think it was the Sunken Pearl one for the Pirates of the Caribbean, which we hadn't done before. So like, I have fun with it. We'll see what this Monkey Island monkey business is all about. And we'll go from there.
It looked pretty silly.
Yeah,
I imagine you're gonna be doing a lot of sailing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I have no idea what it is.
I watched the trailer come in. I was like, Sea of Thieves. That'd be great to get back into. And then I remember what it is. It's like me jumping into a ship and sailing for 45 minutes and not doing a fucking thing.
And
getting
you weren't getting drunk and going.
I play my instrument a lot.
Scooping water out of my ship because I'm terrible at sailing it.
My squeeze box.
Well, listen, Phil and Nave, if you guys do end up playing, let me know because I'll jump in. And I was talking to Nick about it too from Friday Night Gamecast. We wanted to get into it. We just haven't done it yet because life kind of gets in the way or whatever. And one of us doesn't say anything. So if you guys do, let me know.
Oh, what was next?
Microsoft Flight Simulator 2.
Man.
Or whatever this
2024.
game is.
They were going hard on that. That was a nice trailer. It looked pretty sweet. But
they're like natural disasters, oil rigs,
racing,
transporting rich people, and like, oh man, this is wild.
They had those snowbird. What are they called? The bluebirds. Those like stunt planes doing like the.
Talking about the Blue Angels.
Blue Angels. They were going through the fucking obstacle course. Then they showed the thing from Dune. The dragonfly thing.
Yeah.
Was that what that was from? As soon as I saw it, I was just like, I don't care. And then I went to go pee.
Yeah.
This is the little pelican from last
I thought it was
year.
something. I swear that's probably from Star Wars, I guess. And then I left.
All right. Do you guys do the airplane sim games? You guys sim boys?
I wanted to try Microsoft Sim. Was it 2022 or what was the last one that came out?
I think it's just called Microsoft Flight Simulator.
It's just Microsoft.
Yeah, I wanted to get it. It was 200 gigs. It's like, another time.
Oh yeah, it's big.
I think they updated it to where, like, pretty early on, to where you didn't have to download the whole package.
Oh, okay.
So you could, and then you could play it through streams, and then just obviously there's worse quality. So that's what I usually did.
It's really intensive on GPU.
I thought it was really cool, but I could only crash a fucking Boeing 747 into my ex's house so many times. Where I'm like, all right.
I have tried it, but like it's a little much, like because you have to start right from. Well, actually, you can choose to start from takeoff, or like you can do the whole checklist and the whole prep.
They give you options of like controls too. Like you can like give me poopy baby controls. Like I want to be like press A to go Mario Kart style, and like it'll auto turn for you and stuff like that.
Do they have a thing that speeds up the time, or is it all real time? Like you want to fly from
it's all real time.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because Rob and Kelv were talking when it was playing, and they're like, it's not like real time. They're not just sitting there flying for 8 hours. You want to fly
China.
Yeah, but I'm like, I think it is.
Some people are into that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Desert Bus of Hope, the game exists, where you just drive on a street and it never ends.
Yeah,
you just keep driving on the street.
Is crazy.
No, 100% people sit there and they'll do like a full run, like from like London to fucking.
No, I can't,
LA.
man. I got a flight from LA to Tokyo tonight.
Yeah, I got to go for 6 hours. They just put it on autopilot, and then what do they do during that? I don't know.
It's interesting, but I think
love.
Sorry, go ahead, Phil. Were it Phil or Nave talking? I couldn't see there.
It was me. I don't say just in me, but I think it's good because it's like, you could put out wildfires and stuff like that. I'm like, that gives you kind of something to do rather than just like a checklist of get better at the game, which just feels like a giant tutorial rather than like something you're accomplishing. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know. One of my favorite things about the previous Microsoft Flight Simulator is that there were spots where it's like you could just go to specific set places that they're like, these are highlighted places, and it's like there's an island or like a atoll or whatever, and then there's like the mountains, and I'm like just flying around the mountains for a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I don't want to like actually simulate flight. I just want to kind of check shit out while I'm 17 shots in, and I can't play Halo anymore without dragging my team down. I'm tired of hearing racial slurs.
They had I was watching a trailer of it. What was I doing? I was looking at it on Game Pass of just Microsoft, the new one, Flight Simulator, and I was watching the trailer, and they made it. It's funny how they make it look so beautiful and graceful and adventurous, and the music's all epic.
Yeah.
But like somebody should make a meme where it's like what the trailer is like and what it's actually like, and it's like you can't even fucking get off the runway without burning, crashing, and dying in this ball of fire because you just like can't figure out how to get the thing off the ground and shit. That's what my experience has been like in the past. So, and I bet you any money if I loaded up the
taking
new game,
off is easy.
it would be a disaster.
Taking off is the easiest part in that. It's landing that's the hard part.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like Grand Theft Auto 4. Like, you remember flying in Grand Theft Auto 4, Philip?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy,
I love
it's
flying in
really
GTA
fucking
5. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I would always.
Yeah, because in
prefer
5
that.
they were like, "How about we ditch that realism shit?" Because that
Yeah,
shit
no
sucks.
more realism. Like in Saints Row, when you can just like whip your little jet planes around and like we would joust with them and take each other's wings off.
No, I want games like fucking Sleepy Dogs where you could literally tackle with your car. Like you go, fucking like
Sleeping Dog. I never played that actually.
It's really good.
Oh, it's so good.
I played
The
it.
story
I played
is
it.
so
It was
good.
it is really good.
Cool.
And then what happened was my Windows. I had to reinstall Windows and I lost my fucking save file.
Oh, that's a meaty game too. It takes a long
It
time.
was before like the cloud saving and all that. So yeah, I was not happy about that, and I never started it up again. And I was like 10
Agony.
hours. I was like 10 hours in too.
That's a hard loss to have to like redo.
It was really good though. I was really enjoying it for sure.
Let's move on though. What was next?
Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
Hellblade
Senua.
2.
Return of the Blade.
I didn't
Pretty
play
upset
the
about
first
this.
one. I regret not playing
You're
the first one.
upset? You're upset about
I played it. I played the first one for a few hours. I was on the last like gate or whatever the hell it was. I didn't finish it, but it was interesting for sure. It was good.
This is like the fourth or fifth time that they've showed this off in a major way. No fucking gameplay, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Just the
No, they didn't.
in-engine.
They didn't show gameplay. Eh? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I assume the combat's just, oh, look, it's fucking God
I
of
thought
War
they
again.
did. I thought
That's
there was
cool.
a clip of it at the beginning. She was throwing a spear at a giant baby.
That was from the last one, I think. That was
Oh.
like a recap, wasn't it? The last.
Because I
one.
thought they said it was previous gameplay of the second one that they had released.
How long
previous
has this
game.
one? How long has this one been in development for? Do we know?
A while.
Yeah. eh?
That was I think that was a smaller team. Before, I mean, like, Ninja Theory's not a fucking small team, but I think it wasn't as like insane with the budget as it is now. So I think the upscaling definitely kind of extended. I'm worried about feature creep, but I think that this one is a game that we should just let cook. I think this is something that is going to be special. I think the original Hellblade was very special, and
Okay.
It was small. It was like something you could get through. It was like when you say feature creep, you don't want it to be like this. You don't want it to turn into like this big, this huge game that kind of takes away from the idea. You know what I mean?
yeah. Or especially if it's going to drag out the development time and like
Right.
make things actively worse around it. Like when you start
yeah.
developing, putting more man hours into random shit that isn't exactly.
Microtransactions in the Hellblade 2.
Yeah, so I can do the Dougie and hit the nay nay.
Yeah, you're doing like dances. Oh man, come on. But yeah,
yeah.
that looked pretty good. Very cinematic. Very.
It's very trippy. What they showed today was very trippy. Like
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it too. I did like it too. I'm a
But
little
it sounds
Insane.
I had the headphones on too, so it was like doing the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was
voices?
very cool. Like the whispering was like all around you. So that
It just feels very weird that we still just have a 2024. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, and no gameplay. I mean, a little alarming, but or no, it's like I think there might have been gameplay, but it's like there's no real like active gameplay in this game because this game does have pretty intense combat. So it's like
I was gonna say,
We
was
have-
It, is it
it's like-
hard? Is it difficult?
No, I don't
it's
remember. It being
relatively difficult.
Okay.
Like it's
I think it
if-
scales. which is really weird. Like this game,
It does
like,
scale.
Like it detects
like if you do
how
really
bad I
good,
am?
they get. It does detect how bad you are, and it will tone down the enemies.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Maybe that's why it was so easy. Maybe that
It's
was
really
why it
annoying.
wasn't so
because
bad
the
for
enemies
me.
go from like 2 hits to
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
to all of a sudden you're hitting them like 20 times.
Oh, okay.
And,
It's
and it's like the same 3 enemies too. There's like a big guy, a guy with 2 swords, and just regular sword guy, and that's the whole game.
I went
there's
through
only 3
like
enemies.
I went through like 5/8 of the game and never died, and then suddenly I died like 4 or 5 times, like rapidly, and I'm like, what? Did I have a stroke in the last
Oh,
hour?
okay.
What the fuck happened to me?
No, it just decided you were winning too much.
Yeah.
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 That's wild.
Interesting.
They want to keep you at the 50% win rate, as in
So
every game. And
I'll
every...
stay really bad, and then it'll be easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's next here? Was Like a Dragon next, or was there something else?
Yep, Yakuza Infinite Wealth in America. comes to
Oh my
America.
God.
Yakuza in America.
Dave,
I
how
think it was.
excited are you about this naked man on the beach?
Dude, oh fucking Ichiban, he's my boy. I was fucking sitting on the couch, and the fucking pitch I hit, I was mid sentence, I was like speed talking, and I just dropped whatever thought process I had and went. I just fucking started screaming as soon as I saw RGG's fucking title card pop up. I was like, "This is what I'm here for, baby!" Like I fucking like, dude, Atlas and RGG popping up in this thing, man. There's no gameplay, but you don't need gameplay for this. This is, you know exactly what kind of game this is going to be. This is going to be the next installment in Yakuza's turn-based game, Dragon Quest style RPG mechanics and stuff like that. I don't want to see anything about the fucking gameplay. I don't want to see anything about this game at all. Like
It's
honestly,
turn-based? Like, I know nothing about these games, I don't think.
The last one was turn-based. No,
Okay.
wait. What about the samurai one?
all of the Ichiban starring ones are going to be turn-based. The ones that star Kiryu are all brawlers, and the spin-off Judgment, they are brawlers as well. The Inshin is also a brawler. The game is historically a brawling franchise. It's like a 3D.
Beat 'em up.
Like
Beat
the
'em up.
bouncer for PS2.
I was thinking like Streets of Rage, but 3D.
Oh yeah.
Essentially.
Okay.
Right?
yeah,
Where
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like you like there's a fucking bat on the ground, you go pick it
Okay.
up, you start whacking people.
Oh,
Double
Manhunt.
Dragon. Double Dragon style. But
Double Dragon, yeah.
Great game.
So the ones with Ichiban, the naked boy that's there, those are going to be turn-based, it's very JRPG traditional style, with party management and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you want to, so there are multiple starting points in Yakuza. If anyone wants to get into it, it's called Like a Dragon now. Pretty confusing because it's Yakuza Like a Dragon, and now they're all Like a Dragon. So that game's Like a Dragon, Like a Dragon. Oops. But
Yeah.
there are multiple places to start. Yakuza Like a Dragon's where the turn-based starts, and it's Ichiban's story. You don't really need to know the rest of it. If you want to start from the beginning, Yakuza 0 is the prequel. So it's not the first game, but that's where you should definitely start. The games lead organically into one another until you get to Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. And then Inshin just came out. That's just a spinoff. You can do whatever. I did an episode of Tales of the Backlog
Oh
on
yes,
Inshin.
I got it.
So
guys
this
wanna hear
is
that?
all like is it a continuous like story? There's
Yes.
7 of them? 7.
There's 8 now. This is the 8th one.
Wow.
Well, there's 9 because 0. So,
Oh my goodness. That's the worst.
and they're very long if you want to do like side content and stuff like that. But these games are great. And what's amazing about it, because it looks like Japanese Grand Theft Auto, that's not true. I always tell people that it's just like Double Dragon with some RPG mechanics, but mostly you're just brawling. And but there is a bunch of like cool sim shit that you can do. Like you can go into the Sega arcade and play Virtua Fighter 5 in its entirety.
Oh,
Or
nice.
Taiko no Tatsujin. You can play that in the arcades and stuff like that. Like there's
Or
a
do
full
karaoke with a rhythm game.
yeah, there's a rhythm game,
Oh,
karaoke,
nice.
and disco dancing,
Oh,
and
wow.
there's full mahjong. You can learn how to play mahjong and like play it like in real time, or shogi. You can learn that. Like it's like there's so much cool shit that you can just get lost playing this game. If you've ever played Red Dead and like accidentally got drunk and spent 4 hours playing Texas Hold'em,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
doing anything
Yeah.
eventful,
Yeah, absolutely.
this is a game that might be dangerous for you. I always tell people to just play it slowly over time because they're so long. This was my Game of Thrones for like 3 years. That was me
okay.
getting through the Yakuza franchise. I was just playing it at my own leisure.
Nice.
I'm sorry though. Yakuza talk's over. I had to gush.
So
I
Yakuza
think
Like a Dragon is the first one with this guy. With
Yes.
With this boy.
and now the games are from now on are going to be called Like a Dragon more words.
Oh, okay.
That's why this was Like a Dragon, Infinite Money America, or whatever Philip said.
I didn't get the title. I just saw there was like
it was
an
like
infinity symbol, and then
something about money.
Yeah, and then money. Oh, wealth, maybe.
This is notable too, because what I found very interesting is that there was English voice acting with Ichiban speaking Japanese.
Right.
That's new. There's only been one game which is the Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon, where there was English voice acting or dubbed voice acting. It's like traditionally the games always have been, which everyone in their right mind is going to play with Japanese because it's so fucking good. They get like high quality Japanese voice actors. It's great. And so seeing Ichiban speak Japanese and then hearing English talked back to him was very cool and like bizarre. So I'm really interested to see, because I'm assuming he's in Hawaii.
Yeah, look,
that could have been like
that would make sense.
L.A. maybe
Hawaii if he's coming from Japan, obviously.
Japan, Hawaii would make sense.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. You shall see.
Cool.
Hawaii is just small Japan.
Yeah, pretty much. Which, speaking of Japan, oh wait, no, I'm jumping one. Fallout 76. Atlantic City. Anybody care?
Yeah,
no.
the famous Japanese city, Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Daniel was playing some.
I was
Daniel,
playing
that what
Fallout
you were
76. Yeah, it was fun, and I may pick it back up at some point. I don't think that like I'm in a rush to. I did love the fucking music of the Pip Boy and that little like 40s tune they played. Like that was just penultimate.
Very cute.
But yeah, that's
it. Was a good jingle too.
It was great. It was super catchy, great lyrics. But I'm not in a huge hurry to play it. My buddy Jason will be pretty thrilled because he's like constantly on it. I kind of, what happened? Oh yeah, Hogwarts Legacy came out. We started playing that. I got really kind of sidetracked from Fallout 76, and 76 was getting a bit overwhelming with the whole freaking inventory thing. Like I can't stand inventory management and like having all this shit and having to break down parts for scraps. And, it just drives me nuts. So I got a bit put off by that, but I may get back into it at some point.
Fallout 76 is the only one me and Philip on the Xbox, as far as Xbox Live services go, where we've kind of missed it. So we're still looking for our entry point, and this might be a good entry point for us. Yeah. We're kind of just waiting for Fallout 76 fans to come to us and be like, do you want to talk about it? Because that game's going to be one of those never-ending, we'll never have an end point.
Yeah,
so
it's like an Elder Scrolls Online,
like
same kind of thing.
Just constantly
don't let me put you off to it, though. The thing about Fallout 76 is I was hugely impressed with how it felt as an online, like, Bethesda game. Like, I think that Elder Scrolls Online should have felt that good because it feels way more like a Bethesda single player open world game than Elder Scrolls Online does. I was like, oh my God, like shooting the bolt action rifles and all this stuff. I think I might have talked about this on our show, but I was hugely impressed. So it feels great to play, and it's like a great little world. I love running around West Virginia. So I may get back into it at some point. I think you guys should definitely dive in and see for yourselves what you think.
I had fun.
Add it to the list.
Yeah, backlog. Yeah. Did you guys have any? Does anybody have any other games they want to really talk about before Starfield?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else?
Phantom Liberty?
Persona Tactics, Overwatch, ESO, Cthulhu, Forza Motorsport, Path of the Goddess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nave,
which one was Path of the Goddess?
Nave or Phil, did you guys have like big ones that you wanted to touch on?
I don't have a list in front of me, honestly.
There was a spooky one, the Still Wakes the Deep. And I love spooky games.
Oh yeah, that one actually looked
They
cool.
didn't
didn't show
really give us
anything.
much there, eh?
It showed a little bit of I think it was gameplay. He was like sneaking around. He was like on a ledge, and like you had to like.
It was enough to know that it was a surreal experience rather than a realistic one. And I think that those kinds of games, it's cool that they got a huge stage, even though it wasn't really shown too much. I think that it's one of those games you want to experience without really knowing a lot.
Yeah, it's going.
I think it's going to be a shorter experience, probably.
Yeah,
and it'll be a nice little romp.
Scary game.
That'll be cool. I should play more scary games, so I'm down.
Really, you want to try scary games?
Well, I gotta dip my feet in. I'm not just gonna fucking jump in head first. But maybe this one might be the one. We'll see. I was curious because it looked cool and the music was really eerie and it almost like sounded like sirens singing. You know, it was cool. we should talk a little bit about Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, they got the meme guy.
Yeah, and he's so awkward.
The meme
I
guy.
love him.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he sounded so weird.
Dude, it's
sounded
so
like he had no
funny.
teeth.
I
He
think
did
it's,
sound weird. I think it was something on the. I thought it was something on the
He
microphone.
had
though.
marshmallows in his mouth.
It was like raspy. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It sounded like he had no teeth.
No.
Like they put a shit
I think-
load of de-essing on him or something, but I doubt it. I don't.
there was one.
Yeah, it was for sure something to do with the processing of the audio.
Oh, yeah, the
It wasn't
audio
his
was
voice.
terrible.
It was
I think it
horrible.
didn't help that because he's also kind of an awkward person in
Yes,
general.
he is.
Oh, yeah.
And so before he had the saving grace of a crowd to be able to do crowd work and have like that fun experience. He didn't have a crowd this time, so he kind of just it was on full display. He was like right in the center of that camera.
Talking to the camera, yeah.
And it's funny. I want to see people meme him just running off screen because I saw that and I was like, I love this fucking guy, dude.
Yeah.
He just said,
He's like,
I just fucking left. Oh
here.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's
Get
such
the
a
fuck outta
weird
here.
concept. Did you guys, Phil and Nave? Did you play Cyberpunk yet? I don't recall.
No,
I
but he
love it.
sounded weird Nave played it, but he sounded weird when they were like in the helicopter or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, Keanu Reeves, I'm dying. And he's like, that's tough to hear. Or something like that. I'm like, what?
It's just a
very,
strange
very
concept in terms of the placement
stoic.
of the story of this game. Because
Yeah.
you're kind of like.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, so when does it like? It's just inserted kind of
into
before
the main story
ending.
Yeah.
of Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's just I just feel like a
in the
middle.
parallel
There
is-
time. It's just a
what is it?
parallel.
Before you go,
mission.
Are you telling me that maybe one of these characters doesn't make it to the end of Cyberpunk?
Well, you're gonna have to play
Maybe.
and find out.
It sounds like what you're hinting at right now.
Well, no, there's two new characters here, right? So
Yes, there's two
okay,
new
completely
characters.
new
It just
characters.
happens
Yeah.
alongside
well-
the main story, and it's almost
Yeah,
like a
I
memory
guess- yeah,
you
that's
didn't
what I was
actually
gonna say.
experience in the original game, the first game, something like that.
There is a point of no return in the first game where the game is like, hey, you can't continue
Yeah.
out, you can't do anything. And then afterwards, it's like you can continue from here and do stuff, or you can reload the save and
Yeah.
do story related stuff and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure it'll be like that. The Outer Worlds was like that as well, where
okay.
your DLC is concurrent. I think most Fallout-esque, Oblivion-esque games are like that.
yeah.
Well,
Oblivion
it's
was
definitely
for
going to
sure.
be
and
definitely
Skyrim.
gonna be pretty
Yeah.
cool. Pretty cool.
I'm
when,
s-
when was
I'm
the date
in.
on it?
I'm
I don't
in.
remember.
September 26th.
Okay.
Oh
Fucking
my
LOL,
god, dude!
Yeah. Pain, straight pain, man.
Ouch.
You'll have Starfield
Ouch.
for 2 weeks, and then this will come out.
Mortal Kombat's coming out in there as well for
And
people
then-
who are like me.
Spider-Man 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later.
Yeah. What the?
Yeah,
fuck?
so you can play Spider-Man for 2 days and then
my
finish out your Forza.
Well, you have
I
options.
know,
Oh
at
my
least.
God. It's crazy. It looks great.
I won't jump into this right away. I'm gonna guess. I'll be playing Starfield.
I don't know
Oh.
if they're gonna. Hopefully they add some stuff. They got to add some features to this. Like they got
Yeah.
to add the tattoos. Give me more tattoo
Yeah,
changes.
that would be cool. Parlors, garages for
Please.
your cars and shit that you can just take.
Come
and-
on.
That would be cool.
More horrors.
Now is the time for them to add some shit.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic of Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Like quite a bit.
Yeah. Big time. One of my favorites.
Yes.
I'll be glad to jump back in.
Yeah.
Because I played it
Yeah,
on the
I mean, it will
Xbox One
eventually.
X
Okay.
when I
Oh,
played
really?
to beat the game. Yeah.
really?
And I
Dinosaur?
had fun. Yeah, I had fun. It was fine.
With 20-minute loading screens?
Yeah, I mean they were very long loading screens. But it was cool. I got to scroll Twitter,
You haven't played on the Series X?
I haven't played it yet. Because I knew this DLC was coming, so I was like,
Okay,
that'll be a good
okay.
reason to re-download
Nice,
it
yes.
and play it again.
Nice,
Oh,
nice,
okay.
nice.
I'll
Gotcha,
probably
that's
make a
cool.
new character and like do something different because when I played the game, I was like a techno wizard. So I was kind of stealthily. Every single encounter, I would stealth and I would put virus on one person and then just
Yeah.
watch it go
Same.
around everywhere.
Same.
And then
That's
I'm like,
exactly what I
okay, I
did.
kind of have like the general layout. And I was so strong that I was just killing people with the
Hacker
virus,
man.
like
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Nave was just a
Yeah, I
hacker,
would just
man.
hack the shit out of people. Yeah, I would hack the shit out of people, and I would take out a whole compound just from hacking like a
Yeah, it
couple.
was sweet. It
dudes.
was super
Yeah.
OP.
Yeah, it was very,
was
very
cool.
strong.
Sweet.
Because when I play games like that, I'm always kind of like in my head, I'm like, what's unique about this game? That's what I kind of want to emphasize
Yeah.
rather than like that. Because that's the one reason why I'll start banging my head against a wall in games like Dishonored because it's like, oh, it's the stealth. It's using these abilities to be stealthy. I'm terrible at stealth games, so I was never able to get into Dishonored until one day I just snapped and said, fuck it, I'm killing everyone. And then I started killing everyone. I'm like, oh, this game's really fun. It turns out you can just play it however you want. Like, I don't know why I limited myself to I tortured myself for no reason.
Oh yeah, like Cyberpunk is definitely one of those. You just play, like you can do anything. Like you could spec into anything. But
yeah, and you can have boobies and a wiener and a really long wiener,
or none. Right. I had no nipples.
None. You could be ill-equipped.
I had cool fucking swirly eyes.
Yes, I had those
and I was
too on
like,
mine.
Oh, I fucking love the swirly eyes.
It's
Dude,
like
good character creators are great.
Like Naruto fucking what's the eyes there?
I know you're
the
talking
Renegan, I think they were called.
I don't know if you can say that on the internet.
Renegan.
All right, do you guys care about Clockwork Revolution?
What are you fucking talking about? Are you on drugs? That game looked great.
I don't know. It looked pretty good.
I thought it looked great.
Dishonored knockoff.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Bioshock.
That was Steampunk 2077.
I had
That's what he said
Steampunk
in our group chat
Bioshock.
with the guys. I was like, this is Steampunk 2077. But I thought it was going to be a Bioshock thing for sure, but I guess I was wrong. What's it called? Clockwork?
Well,
Clockwork
I think it's
Revolution.
yeah. So the thing is that at the beginning it said world premiere and then Xbox Party Studios. So I was like, oh, this is a first party game, so it can't be BioShock because that's 2K.
That's true.
Yes,
but
I
was
the
like,
developer. It's true. I keep forgetting.
I am kind of a little cautious because of who is it in Exile or is it Compulsion making this one? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I didn't see it.
I think it's in Exile. In Exile is pretty fucking good, so never mind. Scratch that from the record. I'm not that worried. In Exile is a pretty cool studio, but it's like I want to hit this again where I'm talking about these Xbox first party studios coming out swinging with all of these fucking awesome and unique aesthetics to all of their fucking games that look incredibly distinct from one another, which was my issue with Avowed and Elder Scrolls and all of these other Western RPGs I was worried about. Having this crazy diverse lineup of like just visually aesthetically pleasing games, like that is such a great way to kind of boost their promotion of Game Pass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially with almost every single one of these games in this showcase being on Game Pass. It's like this was more a Game Pass showcase than an Xbox one.
It's insane. I have it here. It's like this is all or like most of them are going to be on Game Pass. Like that is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Guns looked really awesome. Like I love this fucking retro, steampunk kind of like weaponry, like this alternate reality, alternate history, but like kind of futuristic. Like I love that kind of thing, and like having these weird haphazardly thrown together like cogs on fucking guns. Like I just put a cog on it, and it's a flintlock pistol. Like it's cool suddenly.
And there was flying ships too. Did you see the ships flying around like blimps and stuff? Could be interesting for sure.
We shall see.
Yes.
And there's time travel.
Yes.
With like a dark world, dark future, good future.
That's what interested me. I feel like it's cool when you can make decisions that change futures and pasts and like how that affects your gameplay and your story and maybe how many there endings there are and stuff like that. That is cool. I like that. Appeals to me.
That could, yeah.
If
imagine there's like 50 different endings.
I assume it's going to be just like different zones. Like, oh, I need to go to the bad future to get this.
Yeah, like
and I need to go to the good future to get this.
You've been fucking tainted by Final Fantasy X-10-2 or whatever.
Biff Tannen's future.
Biff Tannen.
All right, any more of these other games we care about? Metaphor, Towerborn.
Nah, I think that was it for me.
Towerborn looked cool. Towerborn looked like Castle Crashers.
Something like you guys.
I'm not sure what it was.
We're going to talk about. Yeah,
I don't really know what it was.
Just like a co-op action RPG, 2D, semi 2D.
It's made by the guys who made Banner Saga, which is it's an incredible game. You guys should play those as well. I think one of them's on Game Pass. It might be the third one. But it's like this game. It looked like it had some kind of settlement, like base building kind of like mechanics tied to it. I kind of like it. I kind of enjoy that. I was just on Between Two Gamers talking about Cult of the Lamb, which is like Binding of Isaac meets base building, like Animal Crossing Stardew Valley. It's like I really enjoy these weird mashups of these video game genres just to see how these different things can kind of connect together. Like, Philip was talking about Metal Hellsinger rhythm shooters and stuff like that earlier. I really want to see how base building mechanics would be integrated into the mechanics of a Castle Crashers like game. I think it was even cool too because they all had little pets, just like in Castle Crashers that float around with you. They had like little dudes following them around.
Yeah, the art style was cool.
I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
You guys will play.
Nice.
You'll do an episode on it.
Yeah, you'll do it. I'll buy it for you guys. It'll only be like
It's on
$20.
Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one Game Pass.
There you go. Boom. All right.
Nice.
I
Well,
think that's everything.
Yeah. I think that's everything other than the big dog. The big dog, Starfield.
I think we
Yes.
should.
Let's do it.
I'm itching.
You don't
me
want to
2
talk
seconds.
about the Xbox Series S Black?
Oh,
No.
well, I'm glad. I will say this. I'm glad that there's something like another option for me to upgrade to, because I only have a 1X, so
True.
I don't have these
Yeah.
next gen things, you know. So
And that's because
that's
the
fine.
original one, the Xbox Series S has a very small storage space, which is strange because it's a digital only console, and that was always a big thing. And
Yeah.
whenever he was talking about it, he's like, "We've heard your worries about the storage." I was like, "Oh, fucking finally, he's gonna announce a bunch of new storage like cards for
Right.
the Xbox Series."
Yeah.
So because I still have the 1 TB, I think the 2 TB exists. I was hoping he was gonna announce some pay cuts, which would be weird because they've already announced pay cuts before, so it's like twice rapidly. So. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
recently
hoping it
went
would be
down.
pay cuts and more variety in that. It's very strange. At first, I was upset because it's like this is a Black Series S. It's the same name, but it's more price with higher with higher storage space. But that's going to be kind of confusing to the layman. But because like there's
it's
the
already
Series
pretty
S.
confusing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, But then I thought I don't know if it would be okay to name it the SI or whatever the Google like.
I thought they were
Apple
going to
does.
name it the S Plus.
The S
Yes,
Plus.
Yeah, you just
S
put plus
Pro.
on the end.
Just put the
S
plus.
Plus Pro, 1 terabyte SSD.
It's interesting though because it's like at first I was like they should have changed the name to something else, but at the same time it's like it's the same hardware in there.
Yeah.
So you don't want to like get confusing with the hardware. The S is referring to the hardware rather than the console itself. I think more than and the X is in the same fashion.
Yeah, I mean it's another option for me.
I upgraded my PS5, or I added a SSD to my PS5 because I was already running out of space on a 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
My Series S is like, I have like 2 games on there. You can only put 2 fucking games on there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So yeah,
It's like
this is way
half a
better.
gig, right? And then or it's half a terabyte, but it's also like a lot of that's taken up by the
2
OS.
games. Yeah.
What's the OS? Probably like 60 gigs.
It's
not
not
a
much
lot.
space.
Tragic.
Like I have to remove a game to install a new game, especially when they're 100 gigs now. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, if you're playing
Well,
like
good thing
big
you get
games.
700 gigs of fucking download speed, right?
Yeah, you can do it pretty instantly.
In and out. In and out. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about
All right.
Starfield for fuck's sake.
More like Garfield, am I right?
Hey,
No.
Phil,
you weren't
Phil
impressed?
doesn't seem
You weren't
mad.
impressed?
Phil doesn't
weren't
seem
impressed
impressed.
with this?
Fold Bethesda into
Let
another
me give you
studio.
all the
Phil, give us
mad
the-
that
yeah,
came
give
out
us
of
the
this one.
shtick.
Okay, let's
All right,
let's
let's
hear 'em.
base building. That was bad in Fallout 4 or whatever. Like I don't need that.
Yeah, I also agree. I was like, I don't need this fucking resource gathering and like that's No Man's Sky.
Well,
Okay, that's
yeah, here's the
No
thing.
Man's Sky stuff. I'm like, that was bad in No Man's Sky. I don't want that either.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't want
here's
to do
the
that.
thing with I think the resource gathering, the ability to build a base wherever you want is very interesting. It lets you kind of explore and do whatever you want. So it might not be for us, but there's going to be people. I think the modding community is going to be insane
Oh my.
for Starfield.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But there's a lot of people that this is speaking to with the base building and all of that. And I think it's really cool that you can assign because you're going to have there seems to be a very diverse cast of companions in this
Roommates?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so since notoriously in these games you only get 1, maybe 2 people that get to follow you around, and then you just ignore everybody else and you never talk to them again.
like the adoring
Being
fan.
able to the adoring fan, don't get me started.
He's back.
You know what's great is that the person I was watching this with was like, I have no idea. That guy was creepy as fuck. I don't like that guy. And I was like, no, what we used to do in Oblivion was go to this fucking mountain and knock him off. And then they did it. And she's like, oh, they did the thing. What you just said.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they brought someone up there. It was him, I think, and he like
Oh,
pointed the
man,
gun
I
in the back
lost
of his
it.
head, and
Yeah.
and then they changed it, and it was like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
they
for
cut.
That's funny.
it's for
And-
you to
Cut off.
decide.
Yeah,
That is
it's so
hilarious.
good.
Yeah,
But,
was it the
I
same
think
voice? The guy with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
it's the
voice?
Yes,
Yes,
same
it was the
voice.
same guy.
Yeah,
it was
same
even
guy.
the same voice
100%.
line until the end, where he was like, "I want every molecule to be inside of me," and I was just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that just looks like a mod. That looks like a mod, but they're like, "How about we
does.
just put that in the game?"
It's such a
Wouldn't that be good?
like homage. It's an homage. That's fucking great.
They seem to not mind being silly. Like when they talked about like collecting all the sandwiches.
Yeah,
and like, yep,
absolutely.
that's something I did.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it was just-
Bethesda,
it was like-
though.
And then they had that awesome
Bethesda magic.
transition where it was the floating sandwich and then it turned into the moon. And I was like, yes, aesthetics.
That's good production.
This is
Oh,
fucking awesome. What about the robot he says he'll say your name? That's fucking
Oh yeah,
great.
I was like, will
That
he
was
say?
in Fallout 4.
Will he say
Captain
Nasty
Howard.
Nate or
Well,
no,
because-
face?
So the way that,
Why not?
maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah,
voice
I'm
to
sure it
text,
will.
but
Yeah.
no, the way that it works in Fallout 4 is that I think it's Wadsworth. He has a lexicon of like 7,000 names. And so
Okay.
if your character's name is that, he'll be like, oh, hello, Beasley. I don't know what the fuck.
Was it a
Some
human
kind of name.
voice actor though?
Yes, doing a robot voice. It's a
Because
human
in
voice.
this, I wonder if this was actually like is a generated AI voice,
Just like a Microsoft
that
Sam.
can just read whatever
Yeah.
you put in
True.
into the.
I don't
field
know
as
if
your
they
name.
want that. I don't know if they want the weird words that people can put whatever
Well,
they
I'm
want.
sure they'll put some kind of control on it, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean, if you
Never find a way around it.
listener go on YouTube, Fallout 4 funny Wadsworth names, like because Wadsworth has some pretty funny names that you can say, like that they put in there for fun, like for Easter eggs. Forza Horizon, speaking of Playground from way earlier, they also did this where I think they read your name on your profile, and if your name is in their database, they'll say your
Okay.
name out loud.
Yeah.
So like when you use the GPS, it's like, oh, okay, Austin, I'll find you the nearest race for you to race. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
My
you're like,
name.
what?
Yeah.
What did you call me?
Collect-
They didn't have
You
my
sign
name.
the EULA at the beginning of the game where it gets
Yeah.
all your information.
You check marked. You put
Yeah.
the check. You agreed.
They just
That's
called me
a-
buddy.
That's the best part about Fallout 4, though, is that Wadsworth just says your name, and you're like, huh? Like you turn around, like, what? Are you fucking? What'd you just fucking say?
Man.
Oh,
Of course, my name was like PP Man or something, so he didn't ever say my name.
Exactly.
PP Man, the
what
man
other-
that pees.
What other things were you mad about, Phil?
I mean, that was it. One
the
thing I'm
base
not
builder?
mad about
Yeah,
is
he's
there's no Destiny cursor.
The who?
No Destiny
you know, like-
cursor.
No
Yeah.
Destiny cursor. Like every modern game, they're like, we should have the Destiny cursor for the
Oh,
UI.
the circle?
And so it's a mouse that you move
Yeah,
around
yeah.
with the control stick. And I'm
Just
like,
wanna
that's
shoot myself?
disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I hate that so much.
Yeah.
But this, no, it was all, the UI was all tuned for console. I'm
Yeah.
like, thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
it
even
was
like
definitely
in the
on
space
console.
flight, like, dude, it's so cool. They're like, oh, you can move the fucking thing to your warp drive so that your warp speed comes back faster. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Oh,
And but
yeah.
it's like you literally just move the D-pad around and like
Yes.
go up and down and left and right. And I'm just like, that just seems so seamless and
Like
easy.
the energy, like your power.
Yeah.
Your
Like
ship's
when you're
power.
putting it to
Yeah.
the
And
other
it's
ones.
so cool because you think about that in like those like sci-fi games, like or sci-fi movies of ye old times. Like they're like, oh, we got to reroute power to the shields,
Yeah.
and you think about that. It's like they clearly really really love and like are passionate about
Oh, yeah.
this, at least the universe that they're building. Obviously, they just had like an hour-long thing just talking about little minute details about their game, but. They're like, oh, the fucking sunlight comes through the atmosphere. Now it's slightly grayer. And I'm like, that's really cool. The fucking
Yeah.
times we live in.
It is.
But-
man. That's fucking awesome. It's just so. It's such a project. Like it sounds like
25
such-
years in the making, guys. That's what it says.
Yeah, that's
So
what it
what
says.
engine is this?
25
This
years?
engine is the Fallout 4 engine still?
The creation engine, I think.
Creation
Yeah.
engine. You can tell
Okay.
it's a bit dated, like, but
But
it still
they
looks
put some
and
Still
it's
nice
looks
in it.
really
paint
nice.
on there.
I'm surprised that
Oh,
engine
man.
had a global illumination system though. Like that.
Yeah,
I'm-
like
I'm
whenever they
here for it.
came in, and they started going through each like scene, like it was absolutely breathtaking. Like whenever they were just like giving you different backgrounds when he was walking through the rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
well,
when
he
they were
said that's
switching
what they were
between,
going for.
they
They
were
were going
switching
for, like,
between
a
first person,
cinematic
third
thing.
person, and like all that kind of stuff. Man, it looked so good. Oh,
You know what's weird? Phil Spencer was on a. Speaking of just how the game looks, Phil Spencer was on a Kind of Funny podcast, and he answered
yeah.
some questions. And he was like, "By the time we see Starfield at this showcase, we will know if the game is 60 frames or 30 frames." Did they say?
No, I don't.
I
think
don't
so.
remember them saying.
No,
so what the
no.
fuck is that?
It looked like 30 though. It
So
was
it's
30.
got to
was
be
definitely
30 if
30,
they didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
That's my
It
assumption.
was 30.
Yeah.
Because here was my thought process. I was like, there's no way. I was like, they're going to sandwich it in the middle of some shit, like, and then continue the showcase. Or they're going to say it at the end as a big fucking mic drop, like, also this shit runs at 60. And they didn't even say it, so I was expecting it, and it never came. So I'm going to see if maybe they released a press release or something.
I don't know, man.
I just
that
don't
would be
think
think they could do
possible.
60 on that.
Would that even
I
have been
don't think they could
possible
do it.
on console for this kind of scale, caliber?
We'll have to see.
I don't know.
about
Maybe
that.
maybe not to with that global illumination system. It probably wouldn't have.
Yeah,
been
maybe you
possible.
flip that on and off.
I don't know, man.
No,
as
I
long
don't
as
know.
it's
It sounds like it was
solid
a
30.
big feature that they're like they wanted to keep in there, so it might just be hard locked at 30.
Jeez.
It has to be. I'm on a subreddit right now, and everyone's talking about it, and everyone's just saying the same thing I was just saying, which is if it was 60 frames, they would have
They would
said.
have said it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
said it.
also Phil saying that it would be explicitly addressed, and it wasn't. So that's fucking kind of weird.
How did you guys feel? I had a
So-
question for you guys. Sorry to digress, but this is something that really stuck, which I could never really put my finger on. But when they were talking about this NASA punk aesthetic, okay, I was like, oh shit,
NASA punk.
that's cool, because they were talking about how it's like it's an aesthetic that's really influenced by like 70s, 80s kind of NASA space,
Star Trek.
Star
yeah,
Trek
yeah.
stuff. Well, not even. I would say more Star Wars, A New Hope type thing, where it's like really rugged internals and console boards and stuff, where it's not super chic like sci-fi, but it's more
Right.
rugged.
Like
it's
CRT
more
monitors, like
utilitarian.
aliens.
Yeah,
The old Alien movies.
yeah, and it's almost
I was
like
thinking aliens.
Japanese
Like
retro.
everything is
sci-fi.
like a green monochrome.
Yeah, like the computers and shit. And I thought that was really sweet because I hadn't thought about it, and I was like, "This, what are these spaceships going to feel like? Like they've got more of a, they're just rough and gruff, kind of like they get you from A to B type look, as opposed to these super sleek fucking starships that are just
Yeah, I think it's because they're modular. They're so modular. Like you
Yeah.
can create
Yeah.
your own, and they're just made of like blocks, so they're not
Yeah,
going
it's
to
like
be
Banjo
super.
Kazooie nuts and bolts, Philip.
Yeah, nuts and bolts. I saw
So,
the
where every single fucking ship is going to be a square of some
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
But
Did
I
you see
think
the
cube.
the
Did you guys
cube.
ship?
To see the freaking spaceship, the mech spaceship,
robot?
it's like,
Yeah, and then it struggled. Yeah, I was like, oh, it sure is moving. I
Okay,
guess.
day one.
I think
Day one on Twitter, there will be a giant dick shape.
Oh, yeah.
ship.
absolutely.
Like
Dick ship.
first,
Spaceship.
like the first thing, the dick ship. Day one.
So what were you saying? Oh, so the way that the ships look, they kind of addressed that. They said the different in game.
Oh yeah, the companies.
Companies,
Oh,
manufacturers will have different vibes and different
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
aesthetics.
yeah.
And they kind of glossed through that. They flipped through a bunch of different. It's like the same type of room, but it was different manufacturers' interpretations of that room. And I really like that idea.
yeah.
Because
that's
it
cool.
reminds me of Borderlands a little bit, where Borderlands had the different manufacturers of guns, and they always had their own little quirks about
that's
those
true.
guns.
Yeah.
That is really neat.
Yeah,
Like
that-
what is it? The Torg always like you throw it and it blows up and whatever, you know.
When they walked in the ship for the first time, oh man, it looks so freaking good.
It's like Star Wars.
Oh, yeah,
Game
it looks so
huge.
fucking
This game
good.
is so huge. Like it's
This is going to be a game that you're going to be able to lose yourself in. The fact that you can go around and like talk to different people at spaceports and like hire them like as part of your crew, and they have different perks, and I wonder how much that's actually going to affect all of this stuff, because it's like I was saying before about the companions going and mining resources for you on some random desolate planet because you don't like them. Like I think that this crazy freedom that they're giving you with all of these different intricate mechanisms like interlocking with each other. This is that kind of shit that makes a game timeless. And if they can if this game can perform well, which I'm already worried about with the 30 frames talk and all of that, if this game could just perform well, this is going to be something that can be built upon for a really long time. I wasn't thinking this was going to be the next Skyrim, but this seems that way.
It's looking like it. It's looking.
Oh, yeah. Like if it like you said, if it performs well enough, like you could replay this 100 times and not do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That
and
kind
it's
of
like
thing.
Big time.
your ability to make your character and with all of these different backgrounds and all of these different no.
Yeah, the background.
You know what I mean? Oh
There's
no.
so many backgrounds, eh? That's really cool. I like that.
Man,
As opposed
the
to just having
creation
like three.
was sick. Yeah,
Yeah, the character creation looks sweet.
Mass Effect was the
Yeah.
one with 3.
Cyberpunk had
Did you
three.
see? It did seem like it actually would have that classical, hilarious Bethesda characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feel
Yeah.
where the voice acting is just kind of like, it gives you that Oblivion, that Skyrim feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Oblivion.
Yeah.
You might get to
Shank.
town recently. No, there's too many wolves on the road. There's
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking great.
Heard
I
anything
cannot
about the other
fucking wait.
systems? Nothing I'd like to talk about.
Nothing.
okay, see ya. And they stand up and walk across the
Bye.
room.
Yeah, exactly. And then they start
No,
talking
they're
to
just
each
saying
other
the
like
same
3
thing.
seconds later.
Yeah, they're talking to each other. Yeah, when they were talking about the specs and like building your tree, like I'm interested to see more about that, like what kind of stuff you can go into. But he was talking about the just punching people, and he was just going around and
You see
just
the punch
punching
guy?
people into
Unarmed.
0G, and they're just flying away. It's
Yeah,
like,
that
see
was
you later.
awesome.
Philip, it's there for you, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
you.
like my gorilla build.
Yes.
And
punch
you
'em
don't
into
have to play
space.
that space salvage game that you play anymore. You can just do it
Oh,
in this.
Shipbreaker?
Yeah, you can just
You
do
just
it in
harvest
this.
other people's ships after you get all the people out of it.
Yeah. You can just destroy them and
Stealing
then get out
people's
there.
ships in this?
Yes, and you can have multiple ships. You have a
Yes.
fucking fleet of ships. I was like,
Hangar.
oh no.
You can
Oh,
choose to
no.
blow them up or dock them, kill them, and take their fucking ship.
Yeah,
like,
the
come
docking
on.
is such
I
a
couldn't
cool idea. 'cause
believe
it
it.
mixes up the combat style. Like, I don't feel like just blowing them to smithereens
Yeah.
with my my ship. I want to board
What I
them this
want to
time.
know, because they boarded them and started killing them. What I want to know is if you can board them and do some diplomacy, like take their ship and leave
Yeah,
them alive,
hostage,
or like
maybe.
maybe like recruit some of them, like
Or-
pirates did.
Yeah.
I think it's some
Throw 'em into
radio
space.
hailing. At one
Yeah,
point,
there was.
didn't
Yeah.
it?
You can hail the ships. Yeah, you
And
can.
then have sex with them.
Yes, yes.
Hail them and say,
Said
yo,
there was romance.
no, because remember the girl was like, oh, I just dusted a bunch of aliens. Want to come on my ship and bang?
Want
Should
to
I
come on
call
my
them-
ship and then come on my
Yeah.
ship?
She said that.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
I just remember the
making this
granny.
up?
I got a
You had to have
whole-
the closed captions on.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
said it really
okay.
quietly.
Wow.
But no, they'll hail you to come on board for some romance.
Okay.
They don't know what you
Fucking
look
cool.
like.
Yeah,
How do they
man.
know
It
who
makes
you
it sound
are?
like what was that roguelike ship game?
I knew you were gonna bring this up. I was about to Google it, and I was like, "It's not coming up." And then you fucking did it anyway.
No, there was another one that was like Siege
Faster
to the
Than Light.
Breach. Faster than light, yeah. Where you just be walking along and you're like, you're being hailed by an emergency distress signal. Do you let him on your ship? And you're like, yeah, sure. It's like, he killed your chef.
No, not Henry.
Yeah, it turns out he was infected. And he took down your shield generator.
Dude, if you like that kind of shit, you guys got to play Banner Saga, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Damn it.
It's not
But, like-
space though. Banner Saga is all about like Norse mythology and stuff. Really fucking cool.
Nice. So
Banner Saga.
we jumped into Star Citizen before. I'm not going to get into
Right.
Star Citizen, but this game, like what we've been seeing, this is what I wanted Star Citizen to be when I jumped into it. Like it seems like it's more grounded, it's more reined in, story driven with actual game studio like structure. You know what I mean? Like it actually feels like a game.
It's like they beat Star Citizen to market. They're just
Yeah.
beating them to market.
But that's because Star Citizen, they're
still making
raised,
it.
$500 million, and they're still making the fucking game. They don't know what they're doing with the game, right?
They're. I don't think it'll. I think they're just of the thought that it's just gonna be. They're
Just
gonna
like
do
there.
it forever.
Just there.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
It
gonna
is
be-
what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just gonna
exactly.
be there forever. Maybe someday it'll actually release. Who knows?
But when there's like structure and then there's like purpose to something, I think we're seeing that in this.
Yeah, we're
in,
getting a AAA
Starfield
game with
versus-
the exact same kind
Right.
of setting.
Exactly.
It's like, you know,
And
okay,
I'm
great.
so pumped. So freaking pumped.
the Star Citizen videos that I thought I think I sent you one a couple weeks ago. Like those were fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like when
Yes, I'm shocked
when you
people are
do get
playing
into
them.
it, like it's
playing
wild the things you can do. Like I was watching this one guy do this mission with his buddies. He's some streamer, and I guess he plays like a shit ton of Star Citizen. But like
you have
they
to be able to get that
actually
far.
Went on like a planet to do a raid on like a stronghold, and there's other teams that are there as well, trying to take the thing as well, trying to take the same port, and they're like actually battling in space, and they're flying around while they were above them, and their buddies are down below trying to take it on the ground while trying to support from the air. It was fucking insane. And this one guy like ran into this giant ship and did turned the self-destruct on and ran out. And it just was this absolutely massive explosion that like shook the whole fucking area and like
That's
killed
sweet.
like 3 of the enemy's ships and like killed their guys. It was actually crazy.
What was sweet about the Star Citizen was like they're having like dog fights with their spaceships above them, and their laser beams that they're fighting each other with actually hit the ground beside you and like blow up mountains and shit. Like it's insane.
Yeah, like if that game can ever actually come out, it's fucking wild.
Yeah,
but at least this is like more reined in, like you said. It won't be any like things like that, but it'll be cool though. I cannot freaking wait to play this game.
Yeah, this is gonna be sweet. What about Neon City, boys?
Oh, fuck
the Pleasure City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm there.
Very cyberpunk feeling.
Yes,
Yeah, they did have. Then you know what else? They had the cyberpunk kind of style in that city, and then they had one. Did you see the
Cowboy.
Wild West? They fucking
Yeah,
cowboys.
yeah. Space
Yes,
Cowboys.
Like,
It's
they're
like Trigun, bro.
yes.
Oh my
Trigun.
God,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
They did have a space cowboy.
Space
Yes.
Said, I
cowboy.
love
Yes.
you. You can romance the space cowboy.
Dude, I want to romance the space cowboy so fucking bad, dude. You have no idea.
Oh man,
Man,
That was the
so
weirdest
good.
thing too, because when I saw that first city, they're like, "This is the biggest city we ever built." Yada yada yada. The whole time I was thinking, I wonder if there's more than one city, or is this the only city? And they're like, "Here's 3 other cities," and I'm like, "Okay, but I still wonder if those are only the 4 cities that are in the game, and everything else is just
Maybe.
little poop things." You know what I mean? Because it's so much procedural generation, which is fine. You know.
I think you're gonna have to put in your perspective glasses though. Like, just imagine how big this is. They're not gonna
I've been
fill
fine
every
with that.
planet.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go fucking visit
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
planet and look at every
I
square inch of the
want
planet.
to.
That's fine.
I will.
What I really enjoy.
Clear every dungeon in Skyrim. Make sure to put a little clear mark on it.
It's so bad in Diablo 4. I'm fucking doing every dungeon,
Oh,
everything
man.
I run into, and I'm just like, this
Yeah.
is taking me forever. I'm still in Act 1. I'm
Oh
40
my
hours in. What the fuck happened to me? What I really like is that you're able to, at a glance, see which planets have life on it, which planets are barren and like resource rich. It's similar to kind of like Mass Effect 2 or 3, whichever one had the probes.
2 had the probes, I think.
So I really enjoy
Yes,
that because it helps you like not waste time if you're not looking for resources and stuff like that. I also enjoy like the ability to see where there are like structures when you scan. So it's like, oh, there's a structure here. You can just go straight there. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just go straight to the structure. Kind of cuts out the middleman. But at the same time, you have that ability to just land wherever you want and just wander off in case you're on mushrooms and you want to just have a fucking 5-hour wandering around a random planet experience.
Can
listening
you?
to
Did it say
some
that?
acid rock.
Can
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought
Well,
what
not
I
the
was
mushrooms
thinking of
part.
at first, I was like, okay, this kind of looks like it could be like you can go to this planet, but you can only generally kind of hang around in this area, and then
That's what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
in Mass Effect 2. Or no, 1. It was a 1 where you actually landed on the planets.
One you could explore.
And it would just be like
planets.
1
No, I'm-
square mile was
I'm
like
pretty
as
sure
much
you-
as you could go.
but
No,
like
I'm
this
pretty
one,
sure
they
they said you
they
could
said
land
you
and
can
go anywhere.
You can go anywhere.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
I'm
out
pretty
there?
You can build a base anywhere. You can
You'll
do
have to
it.
find out,
We're
Phil.
gonna have to find.
Oh
Yeah,
my
well,
god.
so what they were saying was because obviously it's so much procedural generation, but I think that they went to a lot of the planets and like did personal things. It's exactly the same way that they populated Skyrim and Oblivions, but like worlds, but at a obviously insanely massive scale. Where like Oblivion was a giant procedurally generated thing, and then they're like, here's some procedurally generated dungeons all over the place, and then they went into some of the dungeons and was like, okay, I'm gonna do a personal thing here and like make this weird thing going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And so I'm assuming there's going to like the longer that you play this game, the more you're going to like see repetitive things.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those games where you just kind of explore at your leisure. You cannot do everything. You just explore at your leisure, finish the story, and then at some point in the future come back and make a new character and then do it again with another. So that's why I used to be very skeptical about the procedurally generated the 1,000 planets and yada yada, but at this point, I've kind of come around and been like, you don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
You can just do a little bit, and then once you're done and bored with it, there's a bunch of other shit you can go
and
do.
I think that's the coolest thing about the experience that we're gonna have is that whatever planet and soil you do put your foot down, that's just gonna be your story for that playthrough. It's like it's all gonna be. So there's a chance that each playthrough you do is gonna be just more and more unique because, like, fuck, you can. Like 1,000? I think they said 1,000 planets, 1,000 worlds.
Yeah, but
that's what
most of
they
those
said.
planets are going to be like mining planets where
They
you
could-
go
yeah,
on
yeah.
to
Won't
get
be
some
able to-
dust. You know what I mean?
it's like real life,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or Oh, and you can find people stranded on these freaking planets and take them on ship. Oh, man. And then they turn into like these crazy rapist killers.
Yeah, or they try to fucking
cannibals, of course.
Yes,
cannibals. Trying to eat you.
Or love my bloom on the battlefield or whatever Philip talks about.
You have that one?
Having the different like derelict space stations or like different space ports that you can go to that are just in space.
Yeah,
I would love to just have my hands on this and just fucking just get lost. I'm afraid of what's going to happen to my work life and my podcast life because I thought Diablo was
not
bad.
co-op.
Yeah. Like playing Diablo, I was like, it sucked up every minute of my life until I was like, oh, I gotta watch the showcase. Okay, and then we're gonna jump on the show.
Just
and I was
wasting away.
Just wasting away like a piece of garbage, you know?
Piece of space garbage. That's
this is gonna be even worse. Like, do I have to take a week off of work for this?
Yeah.
Do
Maybe
I really
will.
need to? Okay.
Maybe I will.
I mean, it's coming out like 3 days before my birthday. So
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Take a week off for the birthday.
Fucking party hard, yeah.
What else did I have in here?
I had something about in the clips that they were the gunplay.
Oh, yes,
the
yeah.
gunplay looked
Way
very
better than it did.
like it. He was obviously on controller, so I'm wondering how well it'll play on mouse and keyboard.
Probably way better.
But the aim assist looked very strong. It was just like.
Bet it is.
What about the AI of the enemies? It looked horrible, but it could have just been for the demo. But they were just
all the enemies died in like one shot too. It seemed.
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
looked
dang, look how
very
good
easy.
he is.
Yeah.
Well,
Like their health bar just disintegrated.
well, here's the thing. It's like, do you want it to be the other way around? Because one of my least favorite things about any kind of video game is
Sponginess.
bullet spongies. Yeah, like that's what I hated about Outriders and like especially the Division. God. It's like these enemies that especially in the Division where everything's realistic. It's hyper realistic New York City, and I'm using an AK-47U with a fucking underslung fucking. It's like, and then there's just a guy, and I have to shoot him 900 times in the face before he dies. And I'm like,
stupid.
I'm feeling a little bit of cognitive dissonance right now. Like it's kind of hard to ignore this.
I will take
it might be
easy
better.
shots. Yeah, for sure. I'll take the I can drop an enemy in about 5 shots. That's cool because I love realism. I love my immersion. I don't really care if the AI is smart, but I can kill them really easily. That's a nice happy medium.
Yeah.
They explicitly said during that game, the gunplay like portion of that they were going. It's like you can go for realism, for Hollywood flashiness, or you can go for fun gameplay. And they decided to lean towards fun rather than realism or anything else. And I'm just like, that is what I want to fucking hear. Like that's exactly what I want to fucking hear from them.
Because I wasn't caring that they weren't like, they're like jumping behind the boxes. Like when I want to kill something, I just want to blast it in the face, kill it, loot it, move on. Like I don't care. I don't fucking care.
Well, the problem is all the enemy types were just dudes.
No,
Have you seen anything that wasn't a dude?
There was some robots.
There were monsters. I was just about to say, when you're like, I want some kind of challenge. There are giant creatures that can be bullet sponges. I assume.
Okay.
There were monsters that they fought. Now granted, I don't think there was any actual in-game combat footage of them fighting a monster. It was just on the screen there were monsters, and it's like implied that you can fight them, right? But
those robots too. They were fighting robots.
You were because they did show one clip of the player knifing a giant monster. So definitely.
you're right. You're right about that.
Remember that one? Because they talked about like melee and using blades or guns or whatever, and they showed a clip of a giant.
I was specifically like, I love the one knife animation. It's just
the same way. Right in the face.
He's just like, but that's the thing. I was like, a knife is the stupidest thing you can bring to a space fight. Wait a minute, like you poke that spacesuit because it's like, it's like, it's like, no, don't do my oxygen, because you know,
it's like just fly away.
You're on methane planet, and you're all of a sudden a breathing fart.
That's true. That is true.
Oh man, I cannot wait till this fucking comes out.
I cannot wait
Holy
for
shit.
this.
Character creation looks insane, amazing. That kind of just goes loops back around to the
I'm gonna spend about
customization we
6
had.
hours making my character.
Yeah.
I
And the
always
weapons
do.
customization, like it seems like they have a lot of systems,
the detail,
like a lot of different systems that they put a lot of thought into that will just comprise the game. Like
Wait.
it's very modular.
Do you guys remember the clip right at the end? The dude used a fucking force power, and then they just didn't say anything.
Yep.
He used a force power, knocked and knocked everyone up, and then it immediately cut to fucking Phil Spencer going, "Video games are fun," or no, Todd Howard. I mean,
Yeah.
Todd,
you know,
Our controllers and our
So now
headphones.
these relics, I'm assuming these relics that you find
Oh, the
get
alien
to, like,
powers. the
alien
alien
powers. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a dragonborn relic. Find some dragon.
There's got to be a
shards.
Dragonborn helmet somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
you find the dragon.
Xenomorph born.
Oh, guys,
Yeah.
the peripherals, the accessories,
Oh yeah, this
The headset looks
watch.
nice.
The
the
watch.
controller,
God.
the headset, the watch.
Man.
Okay, so the watch is a functioning watch.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
functioning
Yeah.
smartwatch.
Space
It tells
watch.
time.
I would
This
want.
watch.
I would want this one.
Yeah.
I think I'm
It's
gonna
so
get this.
aesthetically nice. It
Yeah.
definitely gives off really cool like alien vibes. You know?
Yeah. Like Ridley Scott, like the first Alien, like Alien 1 type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
Definitely going to
'Cause-
waste
and
all my
it's-
money.
Who's
It's
making
definitely
it?
in the purview because like they did this with Fallout 4 with the Pip-Boy too. Like they,
yeah?
they really
Oh,
like these like
yeah.
cute
That's
little
right.
things.
I forgot about that.
What was that
such a
collector's
fucking
edition
They
called?
made the watch with like Microsoft. Like, who's making this fucking watch?
Probably, I guess.
know what I mean? Like, who's,
They
making
said
this watch?
They
Made in
said who
China.
it was, and it's written on the watch, but I don't remember because I don't fuck with watches, so I don't even.
So I have to decide: do I want to get the collector's edition with the watch and the case, or do I want to get the headset and the controller? Because they don't all come together.
I just
I
don't
like
get
the
them all.
I like the
Chrono Mark?
controller.
And
I don't
controller.
like the weird like the Starfield rainbow thing on the Xbox button going off in one direction because it kind of like breaks the symmetry a little bit. It looks a
I
little
do-
strange.
I do
But what I
like that.
really
I don't
do
know.
like. It's. I think it's just personal preference, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I really like on the controller. It's
Oh,
like
man, that
the
looks so
space
sweet.
controls. So it's like these are the thrusters, and this is how
Yeah.
you do that. And I love that. That's so cool.
That looks so good. Oh man, it looks so good.
one
I'm
detail.
looking at the watch right now.
One detail I remember being like, "Oh shit!" Like I actually exclaimed out loud. I was like, "Oh!" I think I was brushing my teeth, but it was the zero gravity blowback from like using like
Guns. Yeah.
like
And it's like if you
good.
use energy weapons, it doesn't do it. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense
that is
because
so cool.
it's literal. You're making explosions in your gun. Those
Yes,
are the tiny
yeah.
little details in the Bethesda games that I fucking love.
Yeah.
Like even though this game's gonna be janky as fuck and it's gonna run at 10 frames a second, I'm gonna propel myself backwards when I shoot.
yeah.
Okay, so the watch is made by the Wand Company.
Are they good?
Okay, who are
Yeah, they make Harry Potter's wand.
Yeah,
Dude.
they
Have you
make
seen
a
Harry
bunch
Potter?
of. Apparently, they just make a bunch of like realistic
cinema like novelty shit?
James Bond watches?
replica stuff.
Well, I'm dumping all my money into all of that
Yep.
for my
How much
birthday.
it's going to be? It's going to be like $500.
The
Yeah,
headset
probably.
is the headset that
Yeah.
I use. It's just the normal Xbox headset, but they put like the Starfield theme on it.
Oh, is it? Ew.
Just for
Yeah,
reference, just so you
it's-
guys know.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's the same headset. It's just color different.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
all it looked like to me.
All right.
Ew.
It seemed to have some kind of twisty majiggers.
Okay,
Well,
so I'll
that's
get.
depressing because so I assumed they were new things because whenever they talked about it, they're like, we have with Microsoft acquiring us, we have the ability to make hardware. So here's the hardware, but that's not making hardware. That's just a fucking
painting
design
hardware.
team.
Paint design.
Yeah, rebranding.
they
No,
could've
same as
done
the
something
controller,
different,
though.
but I
It's the same
don't
as a controller.
Yeah, I was
think
hoping
so. I don't think so.
But it's
It just
fine,
looked
like-
the same.
those moments of like nothing happening. I needed that because I was like getting, and then I'm like, okay, thank God, I don't care about this.
Just getting worked up.
I was about to have a stroke
Oh my god.
and then
my-
start stroking.
My buddy was like, I'm having so much anxiety right now because we were all just our group chat was on fire as we were watching it. It was just very, very funny, but it kind of blew my mind. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I said to you guys in the group chat, it's like it's pretty good. It's gonna be pretty hard to do a podcast when I'm friggin' speechless, but
yeah,
I know that it'll be good. I was waiting for Todd Howard to say something that's gonna turn into a meme again.
I was waiting for It Just Works.
It's going to be a big deal for
just
Xbox. You think this will sell consoles?
Oh,
Yes,
This is gonna.
This is something that is a.
The killer
This is
app?
hard to argue with, man. This is really hard to argue
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Like it's like I know they have fucking spies, Civilization 6 style, Sony does in Xbox, and so they saw the Starfield stuff when they pushed Spider-Man back. I was like, I wonder what they're afraid of because this game's it's not gonna be that good, I don't think. And then because I've always just got low expectations from
Yeah.
Xbox, I don't know why.
They struggle sometimes. Everyone has their little hang-ups. Like look at Nintendo. We just give them a pass.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man.
No,
But-
yeah, this will be they were looking like Xbox fans were waiting for something
Yes.
because they've kind of been, over the last like year maybe, just kind of been pretty quiet.
Meandering.
Yeah, and Sony's coming out with all these titles that are fucking like God of War and like they have Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah, dude, it's like it's crazy. They knocked it out of the fucking park. Like my heart rate for most of the show is all cattywampus. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. So overall thoughts then?
Yeah, let's cycle through.
Of the direct.
Oh, I would like So we need like score and stuff, but it's like at the end I want to talk about stuff that we didn't see, just real quick. But what do we think about it? Because that's going to taint our scores, I think. Because I'm going to go on one about something. How do we feel about?
I'm trying to figure out what I like the most. There was a child in the scary world where he was climbing and stuff. I love me some danger children.
I immediately was like, oh, Phillips, this is Phillips' game right here.
Like he's a child or an animal partner. I literally just played was it Planet of Lana or whatever? Like 2 days ago.
Oh, the climbing game.
Yeah, just climbing game.
Oh, it looked like Rhyme.
It did.
And I talk about Rhyme all the time. It looked like Rhyme, but climbing.
It's Don't Nod that made that game that you're talking about. It's called Just Dance. Yeah, Don't Nod. Those are the guys that made like Remember Me, I think, and I think they also make.
Maybe they made Rhyme, Jonathan. You should look that up.
Just Jusant. It's called Jusant. I don't know how you say that.
Rhyme? Is it Rhyme with an M as in Mary? Rhyme?
It's Rhyme, and that's why Tequila works.
Oh, okay,
that's
so not
Tequila,
Oh, they did make Life is Strange. Okay, I was like, I had to look it up because I started to doubt myself after I doubted myself again. Yeah, so they made Life is Strange and Vampire. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's a mirror game.
It looked pretty interesting actually, but
I thought continue, Phil.
I mean, that's the only thing that really caught my eye. That wasn't like, of course I'm going to play Starfield. Of course I'm going to play spooky boat game or whatever in the deed. Of course I'm going to play Scared Child on the Mountain Wall.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? Like, are we going to do letter grades or are we going to do out of 10 or what?
Yeah, letter grades.
Letter grades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? You want to go in reverse alphabetical?
We always do.
I'm waiting for the format of this. So one of you guys can go first.
I'll jump it in.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay, go.
I'll give it a solid B+. Good job, Microsoft.
Wow.
There you go.
Simple.
B+.
Okay. That's about, I would say.
I'm going to average it out.
Yeah, I'd say about that. It was good. They had a lot of, at least they had a lot of like stuff that was actually theirs. Unlike the Sony Direct. You know what I mean? Because didn't Sony only have like
they had like one or two first parties, I think.
Did they have a lot of indie
they had
shit?
one first party and then a bunch of like stuff that they bought. A lot of studios that they bought had like 3 games. Spider-Man
Marathon popped up, and I think there's one other game that I can't fucking remember.
Wasn't much.
But these were like a lot of games that were actually them. I'm going to give them.
It was so much.
Yeah, I'm going to give them
so
an
much
A.
gameplay.
I'm going to give it an A.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll jump in too. I'll go with A. Yeah. So regular A. There was so much gameplay for games that I really wanted gameplay of. Didn't have gameplay, so that was very frustrating. So, but some of them I can forgive. Hellblade, I cannot. I kind of I'm starting to get a little aggravated with you guys. I've seen her fucking beautiful face over and over again.
Yes,
I know that you have photorealistic environments, guys. Yeah. Why are you here again if you're not going to show me what the fucking video game is going to be? Are you going to have those shitty puzzles where I have to walk around and like look real good at a fucking thing? Like the Where's Waldo weird iconography? Like it was cool for a couple of times. I just want to know a little bit of what like you're going to do to innovate this game. Mm-hmm. I'm sounding negative. I'm so frustrated with Hellblade. But even though I know it's going to be good, that's why I'm frustrated. But it's like there's so much stuff that was there specifically for me, catered directly for me. Obviously, I feel like if you look at the audio files, it's going to be like 50% me talking, and then the rest is you guys all together. So I apologize. I'm just excited. But it's like
no, we like that you're excited,
so
Dave.
I was really. I don't know how much of the blinders I had on for this because I feel like I probably at the same time, while being the most excited, was also the most negative at this. Like, so that's weird dynamic I had going on. But I would still go with A. I would still go with A, especially with the context surrounding it, because they really needed this to be good.
Yeah.
The Sony show kind of sucked. I mean, there's a bunch of great third-party games, but if you're there for Sony, then there was barely anything. The Game Awards was pretty cool, but it's like they were set up for that, and they've been cocky, and I was worried about that. Like, they dropped the Fable tease. They were like the PlayStation Showcase, like, oh, look at all these good. They're like, good job, Sony, with your showcase. And then they're like, all these games are coming to Xbox with a PNG, and I'm like, you guys need to be careful. And like they've been cocky, and they really did hit it out of the park, I think.
Yeah.
So
nice. I'll go next. Yeah. This was essentially a Starfield showcase for me. Like, everything else before that was more icing on the cake. Like the Fable, the South of Midnight was sweet. All the ones that really popped out to me. I wasn't on the same boat as Nave, where I would like to see. Well, obviously, I'd like to see actual gameplay footage. But if you guys noticed, a lot of this is 2024. Most of it is 2024, right? So I think I kind of got that in my brain as they were going through the list, like 2024, 2024, 2020. I was like, okay. I was like, keep it going. Yeah. But all of these were, everything was great, I thought. Everything looked good. It kept my interest. I didn't like pause and go piss. I didn't leave the couch the entire time. And it was fantastic. I think it's the best showcase that I've seen in recent memory. And Sony is burning their office down right now with how this showcase compared to theirs, like side by side, it completely annihilated that showcase from Sony. Like, the showcase from Sony compared to this one was a fucking joke.
I think that's a really cool comparison. Like, it's saying that this is the best one that you've seen from them. Because I'm thinking back, I'm like, what are their other showcase that I really enjoyed? And I'm wondering, I think the other one would be when they announced backwards compatibility the first time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. Or maybe the Halo Infinite multiplayer release, the Shadow Drop, was very interesting too. But I think on top, it's up there with the backwards compatibility thing.
Yeah.
I think backwards compatibility was so huge for me. That was such a personal point for me. But this game was this one was so much more consistent, and it had so much more things for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And these, like, the games they showed looked incredible, and I can't wait. In it all, the fact that Xbox showed up and they were talking about this, like, they were waving their flags, like when Nave was talking about the image they tweeted after that, like all that kind of stuff. They showed up, and it just goes to show how much they give a shit about their studios and what they're creating here. And to end with the Starfield showcase was just, it blew my friggin' mind. Like, I was kind of low on the Starfield thing because it got delayed. I was like, oh, what else are they gonna, not do, yada yada yada. But when they came out with this and they showed us all that stuff that it's got in store, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm giving this showcase an A+.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God.
I would have to. I would have to give it an A-. I think most of it is Starfield for sure. I'm very sympathetic to the same exact thing. This was a Starfield showcase for me. That's what I was here for. That was the meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was surprised by Fable and Star Wars Outlaws. I was not expecting that. They kept those pretty hush hush. We didn't hear a fucking whisper about those. Like, I was shocked. I was like, oh, a new Star Wars game? Okay. So that also bumped up my mark a bit. There wasn't much else I was interested in, but that's just a personal thing, so I shouldn't be too hard on it. That's probably the minus. Obviously, Senua, I do want to play the first one so I can play the second one, but like, God knows when I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But that was really it. I am interested to see what kind of game this South of Midnight is going to be, but also the spooky one, as Phil says. What's the name of it again? Still Water? Something about Still Water.
Something in the water.
Yeah.
In the deep.
It's a bad name.
In the deep.
In the water.
I'm
it's
looking
deep.
forward to seeing more of that. So those are the highlights for me. So A-. That's my closeout.
Did you guys see what Phil Spencer was wearing? I can't believe I didn't think about
I
this.
looked at it, but I didn't process what it was.
It caught my eye.
Heck.
No.
Hexen.
That's it, Hexen.
Do you know what Hexen is?
No.
It's a ye old first person shooter that was made by, I think, Raven Software. You know who owns Raven Software? Activision.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Activision, yeah.
he seems a little cocky, doesn't he? Wearing a fucking Activision fucking shirt.
Interesting.
What's going on?
And the Overwatch 2, you get all the new heroes with Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Overwatch
wait a
2.
minute. It's starting to look a little good.
Interesting.
It's for the Activision
undertones.
Blizzard thing.
You're noticing the undertones that he's putting down there.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking zoned in. I was waiting to. I was expecting to be. I know I'm an Xbox fanboy, so I'm contrarian even to myself. So I'm like, how can I make myself mad? Like I'm just looking for fucking things to make myself mad,
yourself.
which is why I'm so triggered about Hellblade. So I'm gonna get triggered a little bit more. Real quick, I want to talk about some things that we didn't see at the showcase. Most notably for me, we did not see the Coalition. What the fuck are they doing?
Oh, yeah.
No Gears of War? Like
No Gears of War.
New
Yeah.
Gears of War, yeah.
super strange, right? Absolutely no Gears of War. We also saw, I don't know who fuck, it says
No,
Alpha Dog.
what's that pirate game? Daniel? The Bethesda
Well,
pirate
honestly,
game?
the first
Skull and Bones.
scene I saw, the first shot of, or frame even,
Avowed.
Avowed, I thought exactly.
Yes!
Yes, so did I.
I
Skull and
thought
Bones.
so too. I was
thought
so
it
ready to go piss. I was like, I could not care less.
Well, I had started
Skull
typing
and
"oh"
Bones.
in our group chat. I was like, "Oh, this is not. Of course, it's not Skull and Bones."
No, didn't see.
Why would they
Skull and Bones.
waste screen time on that fucking game?
Holy shit, man! Fuck. Who cares?
Get out of here.
We did not see Machine Games with Indiana Jones. We did
Okay.
not see, we saw Compulsion Games. I had them highlighted and then I clicked off and now they're not highlighted anymore. So I was
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to
The
do
Indiana Jones game. Oh, my God. Where did that go?
Be like Lara
No State of
Croft
Decay
type
3.
shit.
No, there was nothing about
I wonder if
nothing
it's
new in
just 'cause they're
Halo
not
coming out or
ready to
anything
show
like that.
yet, and yet they're showing
Yeah.
all these like Japanese kind of indie. I guess if you can call them indie, are they indie? I don't know.
I think they're kind of like indie.
Kind of, yeah. But anyway, yeah, maybe they're just not ready yet. Who knows? I mean, they could show so many games. I just wonder what goes behind their decisions. Okay, let's show this one. Let's show this one.
I think they're just trying to focus on Starfield and getting it hyped and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and getting
yeah.
people to buy
Well, it worked.
Xboxes with
Okay,
the new
guys.
Xbox. Here's the new Xbox Series X or Series S, and here's what you'll be able to play on it if you buy this. Boom, Starfield.
I think it's really notable. Whoever mentioned Halo, you're totally correct. I was really expecting, especially after seeing all of the other live service games popping up. Halo Infinite was absent, even
no
though
Halo,
there's the
nothing.
new seasons coming up, and there's a whole bunch of a new progression systems coming in. There's a whole bunch of really cool shit coming in the new season of Halo, but it's not here. So, but you know what was there? Like fucking ESO and fucking Sea of Thieves and all this other shit. So it's like, it's really interesting that I guess they're just gonna let 343 just go on the down low. Another studio that vanished is The Initiative with Perfect Dark, which obviously has some tumultuous fucking shit going on with a lot of their staff leaving, but Perfect Dark's not there.
Oh.
So not even I didn't expect Perfect Dark to be there, but so there's a couple of things that definitely were glaring for me, specifically the Gears of War. I was expecting a Gears of War.
At least like a title shot.
Right.
Are they gonna have
Like they
another one?
did the
Maybe they'll
Elder
have
Scrolls.
another. Maybe they'll show some other stuff.
Yeah, maybe they've got
maybe in
another
the
thing
fall.
coming down.
Maybe something closer to Starfield launch, or maybe after. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cool.
Oh, also Everwild. No Everwild. But again, that game is starting to look like Vaporware as well.
Yeah.
Vaporware.
Which one was that now? Let me
From
see.
Rare. It's the Rare game after
Rare.
Sea of Thieves. So when I saw when the Sea of Thieves trailer popped up, it just said Rare at the beginning, and I'm like, this isn't Everwild. Because it was ambiguous, you couldn't tell. But Everwild showed up like fucking 2019 or something, vanished completely. It's been rebooted, or it's been restarted internally, but I don't know. So a couple of things missing: State of Decay, Gears of War, Perfect Dark, Everwild.
No
That's
Sleepy
it.
Dogs too.
We don't know what Double Fine is doing. I don't think so. But they released Psychonauts 2 years ago, so I didn't really expect to see them there either. No Arcane. No updates on Redfall or anything. I was expecting to see maybe like a
No, they're just like,
apology.
let it die. Let it go.
Oh God.
It's done.
Redfall off the face of our fucking planet.
Redfall, my God. All right, let's wrap this up here. That is it. We want to thank Phil and Nave for coming on. Guys, where can people find you? Like, where are you at? What your tags are and all that?
Hey, what are our tags?
On Twitter is where we're most active. It's mostly me over there. We're at Game Together Pod, and that's where we get a lot of our interaction. If you want to interact with our you get to see our thumbnails a little bit early and stuff like that. I put a lot of work into those. That'll be over on Instagram, where all of our pictures and dumb little videos and stuff pop up. Philip has the Facebook. I don't know what's going on over there. It's a dark place. It's where the sun doesn't touch, and so I don't go there, as Mufasa once told me.
Yeah, but thanks for having us on. This was a lot of fun. A lot longer than I thought it was going to to be,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got it started early on the showcase, and it still went over 2 hours.
Yep.
It's just like, geez.
Nice
Anyway,
videos.
thanks everyone for listening and or watching. Give us a like and subscribe if you choose. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on everywhere. Give us a rating, review. It helps us get out there to more listeners that may enjoy the show. You can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Give us a tweet, and hope you have a wonderful day. Ciao.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.